aggressive a device, one step ahead of everyone it seems, and he finds the second frag as well. dupreeh wanted to push through the flames, but not required here. He can fall back to his teammates, and Phelps with the hero play here, trying to push for the UMP, gets a double spray down. Now we've got something to work with.
Phelps to try and save the round. coldzera will follow it up, gets a kill on the bomb, and now he knows that dupreeh is up here. They've just had an engagement over on the other side. Taco's had to fall back, and he's on 5 health. This is definitely not done if you're SK Gaming. They can't afford to lose. This dupreeh coming in. What an angle to find against coldzera. He never stood a chance. Now they've got a massive health advantage, and they've got plenty of time left here.
Oh yes, this is such a difficult situation for SK. 6-2, looking down the barrel of a full reset as well. Double eco will be required. Segregated. Taco yet to even frag in this map so far. 0-6. Phelps now knows he has to step up. He's already done so much work in this round, and there's another bit as well. Finds the kill, drops the bomb, gets information at least. dupreeh up against it, rotates back towards the A side. If Taco can find this frag, all will be forgiven. He's hiding in the boiler for now. He can hear dupreeh coming. He doesn't have to do too much as he falls back towards the apartments, just wants to deny the plant as much as he can. Might as well go for it. Plant is safe though. Or maybe not quite, and it's going to be Taco to find his first kill in the round, which actually finds SK Gaming getting 2 in a row and avoiding the full reset.
Hey, this is just a replay of the whole game, isn't it? Just in microcosm here. Insane rounds down to crazy 2v2s, and for once, SK actually come out on top. And I mean, Taco, the final kill, that's good, but Phelps there, over on that B side, flashing his way through the smoke and picking up all those kills. That was everything you could ever want. 10th round is coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. AWP on Fallen, sorry, and AWP on device as well. Let's see if they can make this work. They really need to string together a whole bunch of rounds. You need to see SK here pick up, something like 4 or 5 in a row just to start to feel better.
Yeah, still not looking comfortable. 6-3 though. They managed to get 2 in a row. That's something to work towards now. Fallen, like you said, on the AWP. coldzera just set the machine gun for him, and it's going to be aggressive as usual, trying to find the first pick. Fallen might have to fall back here, drops the smoke to buy him some time, but the flames don't reach him, so he can challenge a little bit longer there, but gets burnt alive. Kiabi finds him, and there it is, another 5-on-4. You hate to see that. Fallen looked like he was safe. He thought the fire wasn't going to reach him, but then another Molotov drops in his path, and he gets tagged through the wall. And there it is. 1 minute remaining. Astralis with a huge lead here. I would suggest at this stage to go for the full banana execute. They've got control of that side of the map. They're taking the AWP down as well. They have a bit of presence towards the apartment side. dupreeh and Zipex there alone. dupreeh jumping out the window to go join his teammates, presumably. But Fur, he knows he needs to go wild here. Gets the AWP. Holding an aggressive angle as well. The terrorists decide to fall back. And they've pulled rotations towards the B side of the map as well. Phelps in Speedway right now. coldzera and Taco, who've having a rough time on the A side of the map as well, and as they have not been efficient at all to try and step up here.
It's a good position for Taco, I think. Not many grenades have been landing here towards what we call the graveyard. And he's got the AK in hand. 17 seconds. There's Phelps picking up a kill. But they do a bit more. Taco goes for the spray. coldzera gets one. They line up and they all get shot down. SK Gaming turning it right around. No issue at all. And actually, no grenades at all for Astralis. They just walked right in there.
Yeah, much better from SK Gaming. Looking composed now, actually getting some synergy with those crossfires on the side. This is falling. Tagged through the wall, like we said, and the last tick gets him of that Molotov. And it's SK recovering from deficits, time and time again. Phelps is a hero before, and you can see Taco working hard from the graveyard at that stage as well, using his teammate on the bomb site to actually allow him to get that spray down.
That was a team flashing the guy coming out of apartments, I believe. That was actually the one thrown from middle. So otherwise, maybe there could have been a reply. Fur in the corner will be a quick trade, but Fallen get the kill and fall back immediately, which is a good call. Keb, actually looking for blood. It's going to be his own blood this time around, and what?
How does that happen?
They're breaking all the rules, standing in the fire, killing their teammates. What's going on, Henry?
I don't know, but you don't see that every day. Anyway, dupreeh now recovers the MP9. That's not going to help him too much. Throws the bomb around the corner, but let's see what he can do. Not too much. Fallen finds a first kill. To be fair, they weren't going to win that round regardless, but still. I don't think I've seen a team kill with a knife in that same round ever, so that's kind of interesting.
Losing just a couple of rounds and the Danes are turning on each other. I mean, that's not reasonable.
That's okay, guys. You still got the lead here. Sure, you've lost 4 rounds in a row, but let's be sensible here. Round number 12. Double orb setup. This has been an interesting discussion in CSGO right now. How viable is this? It was G2 that really brought it into the fray originally. That Kenny S Shoxy combo was so strong for about 2 months. Then it's starting to be countered at this stage as well. But if you haven't used it so far, and it's the first one you're deploying it towards the end of the CTR, I think this is a great time just to bring it out, just to mix things up a little bit and have a bit more strength towards the B side.
Still a very good first half for Astralis, but SK, they had such a terrible start as well on Mirage, and they managed to slowly gain momentum over time, and something similar could happen here. I mean, we've already seen it a couple of times. Can't really count them out just yet. Again, we see the grenades raining in towards the A side of the map, and there's not that much of a presence here. In fact, almost none. coldzera and Taco are the only ones here. Taco, once again to the graveyard. He gets a kill, and that's maybe all he needed. But Gabby coming in with 2 really rapid headshots, dropping coldzera as well. It's a very good entry into the site. Phelps, he sort of has to respect that smoke. In fact, he won't. He's just going to be creeping through. That's incredibly dangerous, but it pays off massively. Taking down Kiebu after the bomb is gone down. Glaive comes in with a spray. Not really getting the shot in yet, and now the rest of the team has shown up here. He might have to fall back and wait for Sip, who's hiding in the pit right now. SK Gaming, another clutch that they simply have to win. Sneaking in around quad is Fur, and that's going to be Glaive down and out now. Sip in a lot of trouble. 35 health, and he gets shut down Fur with an excellent headshot. SK Gaming equalizing the score, 6-6 now. It's working for them.
They were 6-1 down, and they've managed to have this sort of resurgence as well. It looked so perfect for Kiabi and Co. Getting towards the A side. What a spray down that was from the young Dane. And further, he goes one step beyond, manages to isolate the first player there, gets the second kill. Very nice stuff as well. And SK Gaming looked like they're finally turning up here in the third and final map. Could go either way, that's what we've been saying. If it got to Inferno, we have no idea who's going to win. It looked like Astralis are running away with it, not so much anymore. Might just be stuck on 6 rounds for the rest of this half. Double orb setup, shutting Astralis down.
Of an attempt to control Banana, but Astralis is less successful than they were earlier. They're going to be falling back instead, taking over apartments on the other side of the map. No real attempt to try and fight that. Taco, it's so risky. Oh, it goes through the door, in fact. There's 2 sets of walls there.
What a dink there.
I hate to see it happen.
You really do. Breaks my heart.
This is just a classic setup on the SK Gaming side. There's nothing really out of the ordinary that's going on. Again, except I would say that they have an awful lack of information about what's happening. They can sort of hear that someone's shooting at Banana, and they know there's someone up in apartments, but even top mid, which usually someone from the CT side would want to know what was going on, they just don't.
The good news is Fallen's towards back right. It's very uncommon to smokes or any sort of utilities used towards this area. It's looking likely to be a B execution towards the end of this round. This is where you want the AWPers to be. Able to find and take shots, fall back and stay alive.
And even more crazily, under 40 seconds now, Fur, who's holding the B-bomb site, still has a smoke and a Molotov, but he's rotating back towards Ruins just as they start to push, so he can't actually use the grenades yet. Have they seen Fallen? I don't think so. Oh, another team kill's happening here. The mutiny is spreading, and coldzera will get one on Kiebu. Still a 3-on-4 here. Fallen takes a frag, and Glaive can't put the bomb down. Fallen now with a double, and Dupree, he was to be maybe the flanker coming in once the bomb was down, but all of that is gone. SK will now take the round lead at 7-6 here. What a game this is, the third one. It's slowly starting to intensify.
Absolutely. We're getting to a really exciting point now. Like we said, Fallen staying alive in that back right position. Like most AWPers will go towards coffins, which you find that hard to understand, right? Because you're mainly going to be smoked out or flashed out there, even Molotov. Then you have to fall back to Ruins, which is a horrible position to be in. Be in that back right position, we call this emo traditionally. If you can get here fighting shots and then not really focusing on it, what a great place that is to be. Denies a plant as well. I thought that really weird by Glaive to just try and go for that plant. I guess at that point he felt the round was over, but he could have waited for maybe Dupree to try and do something, but it all fell apart in the end. 7-6. SK, after being 6-1 down, have actually taken the lead. We really have got a map on our hands here. It's going to be a little force by from Astralis here. UMPs, AKs, but he's got the orb this time. Must have had a good spawn. Surely be taken down. There it is. Device finds him, and he's going to strike even further. I think they should calm down, considering they just got the AWP. Could have fully committed, and they actually will go all in. Fallen now to challenge them.
Tries to land that grenade right on them. He's done significant damage, but I agree, running in after that is so risky. That could go wrong 100 different ways. this just wasn't one of them. 5 versus 3 here in Astralis, looking for a 7th round. And the fact that Taco's so far away and waiting for any kind of a flank makes you think they're just already going to give up this retake.
I guess at this point, you've got all 5 players, I guess, for this stage, considering that we've got GeForce on the other side of the map. You found the first pick. You've only got UMPs, right? You're not going to beat them in one-on-one duels at long range. You might as well just get in there and try and overwhelm the remaining CTs. And that does make sense on that level, considering they had lesser by there. So take that orb down, wait for a second for the initial grenades to come in, smokes deployed, and it's actually a clean sweep. That's very good. But GeForce surely going to be punished here. Yeah, Taco finds him, and it's going to be 4-on-3. But the CTs at this stage just trying to save their weapons for the final round. Money's not amazing, but it would have been enough either way, I think. But they do manage to save the AWP. Astralis tie things up once again. Going to the final round of the first half here. Double orb set up, presumably going to come out once more. Astralis with a slightly faster approach here. Rushing Banana through the fire, through the smoke, and Device with the SMG up close and personal. Finds Fur. So I guess he must have had a really good spawn towards B. Wanted to get that former car position and get the first pick, but that's a very dangerous move to make sometimes.
15th round coming up, and it's anybody's game. The double orb on SK side, that could be very interesting. Could also be completely devastating if you have to suddenly retake a bomb site on Inferno with 2 orbs. I mean, who knows what will happen. And, again, slow approach here for Astralis. No reason not to. Molotov not going to catch anyone this time. And SK have not really varied that much in their setup. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't tried to go for even peeks into middle, even trying to challenge maybe Astralis in second mid. Like, there are a lot of options that they just have not even tried here.
Well, I guess when you're winning this amount of rounds in a row, they actually got 6 together. Guess they're absolutely fine with the current setup, but here we go then. I'll be down to 33 HP. Bombs heading towards the B side of the map for now. CT's still passive at that side of the map. They want to be challenging with the first frag. Just happy to hold up with the AWPs on the B side. Mid control obtained. You can hear some ticks of damage coming in from the Molotovs, and this is another one. Dupree finds Feld. Surely going to get in him. There it is. Very well played.
No time for him to react at all. Normally it would bounce off a wall first, so you could at least hear that sound, but this was really no delay on going down. They're going to wrap in towards Archway. Henry, it's our favorite play. Collapsing in through CT spawn towards the B bomb site. I know you love this.
The banana split, yeah, definitely my favorite strategy in this one. You've got the advantage as well. CTs have 2 angles to care about. CT spawn, they can't even see that as well. And players coming in from the entrance itself.
Fur doing a good job holding on to the Molotov. He really wants to use the last possible second now. Instead, going to take the fight with the M4. He goes down, falling next, and there's nothing else they could do. Cold Zero and Taco weren't even rotating. It looked to me, at least, like SK had a pretty good idea of what's going on, and they must not have.
I guess not. I was hoping that maybe Fallen could find a couple of kills towards CD spawn and funnel them back towards A. That's one idea, but that was perfectly executed there from Astralis. Getting that first pick to begin with. This round's over. It will be 8-7. Astralis winning the T half. And there's that smoke down. You had the coordination there. The players waiting at the banana area. Smoke CT spawn. Deny CT vision whatsoever. They're coming in through the ruins just as the players enter through the bomb site itself, and nothing the CT defense can do about that. Taco, he'll get some flashy shots, but nothing to do to win the round. 8-7 for Astralis after losing a spell of 6 rounds. Still anyone's game for sure. Whoever wins this pistol is going to have a huge lead, and I guess the map's not really established enough yet to really say it's a proper CT-sided map yet. Definitely not to the same extent it used to be.
I have to agree with that. And plus, I think just the lack of time that has been put into this map for so many people. I mean, initially when it was returned to the map pool, not that many people even started playing it, and then it's been slowly creeping back in here. But I think there, even though the changes are subtle, they have a huge impact on how this game is played, this map is played. I think there's so much left to be discovered still. We'll see if SK are maybe going to be the forerunners for it. Certainly, they've got 2 smokes, a lot of setup here, Henry, in the pistol round.
They do indeed. Quite a technical execution coming in. Fast banana play. Device feels it coming. Fires off a few speculative shots there, but can't find anything just yet. Zipex, same sort of treatment, but they'll leave the B side. They know they've pushed the CTs back to the side of that stage, so they can't actually get any information on that side of the map. Leave a decoy there, and Phelps as well, apparently, and they head back towards A. Still with their smokes intact.
It'll be interesting to see how they actually manage to execute this. There's some great flashbangs you can throw over this building, but landing a headshot in Glaive is really not a bad way to get started. They're not going to try and really go crazy behind it, though. There's one going in towards the archway. Another one, that's the classic one we were talking about, towards Little Pit. So making life really hard on the people on this A bomb site. They're weirdly boxed in right now, and they're moving forward
Beast split again.
Men. Yeah, is it again?
Yeah, the bomb's at the bottom of a banana, so it makes sense.
Wow. They managed to get all the way into CT spawn without even being shot really at. That's not easy to do. Device long range, failing the shots, and Fallen gonna take a kill on Sip, and there's a lot of trouble for Device. He's trapped in the back, and they're all around him. Fur will take him down. Kirby will get a kill on Taco, but you have to think it's almost too late at this point. Dupree doing his best, and he does take Cold Zero, but Glaive is so low on health. This would be just a one-man mission for Kirby almost.
Not really much they can do here. The bomb is going to be planted. Crossfire set up as well. It's that triangle of doom. We'll see whether they'll do anything about it. Needs to find this kill. Can't do it. That should be it now. As you said, Glaive 4 HP almost guarantees the situation for SK Gaming. Final kill comes in for Fallen. Lovely strategy there from the Brazilian side. Using the smokes at the start to push the CTs back. They showed presence of Banana as well, so they couldn't really get any intel whatsoever toward that side of the map through CT spawn. The same tactic we saw in round number 15 in the previous half as well. That was really cool to watch, and that's the level we're at right now, Anders. Is perfectly executed strategies, working together and fragging as a unit. Nothing Device could do about that.
That's such a bold peek from Fallen. I don't think we've almost ever seen that. He actually just goes into the angle that he knows Sip is going to be covering, crouches with the Glock and shoots him in the head twice. That's just some confidence, isn't it? That means SK are right back in this game. They have the money and everything. Astralis have invested maybe a bit more than they normally would.
Yeah.
You've talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
How they don't really buy the armor normally in the second round.
Yeah, Device and Dupree especially think this is the way the game's going. They're only buying deagles and no armor in these second round kind of ecos against teams like this, and they invest a little bit more. You're right. So body armor comes in. There's an Eagle, PG-50, and a CZ trying to do what they can. Mac 10's out for Fur and Cold Zero on the UMP himself. We'll see where they can start farming some money here. Only one AK available.
SK are playing this very respectably right now. No reason for anyone to take really any risks. Taco had a really brutal beginning to this Inferno map, and he's been playing well on both of the other maps. So individually for him, it must be hard to sort of take a step back and just have a struggle even finding any kills at all. You see the grenades are starting to be put in a bit here for SK Gaming as they're circling the A bomb side, and not really much Astralis can do on here. They're just locked in. Any second now they're going to get overwhelmed, and no chance to cover so many angles. That's very well executed, honestly, by SK Gaming. They left nothing to chance in this round. And Phelps will find the last one. Nobody goes down on the Brazilian side, and now they're up 9-8 on the final map.
Pretty cool stuff here from SK Gaming. You just think back to the initial sector of that first half. It looked bleak for them. They looked checked out. They weren't holding anything together. Taka was 0 and 6, but they're holding it together now. And Astralis have to be full eco. Well, it should be almost certainly 10-8 here. They're just going to have default pistols here in round number 3. Across the board, not a single dollar invested, Anders. That's kind of indicative as to what kind of place they're in right now. I guess you normally stack a particular side of the map, but looks pretty standard for now. Towards B, 3 on A, and relentless as he just walks into the B site. Zinche is aggressive, but could be his downfall here. Gets headshot down to 19 HP.
He's not enjoying that, but does spot out 2 people. That's information to work with. It doesn't really know if there's anyone else there. Instead, they're going to be putting Phelps into it, and does spot out a guy hiding behind the fountain. They probably think there's 3 now, because that's exactly where he was. Coffins, you can see Phelps is still a bit paranoid. They've picked up 2 of the frags, the other 3 on the other side, and this is all good for SK. They're going to go and put the bomb down in B, and at most, maybe Taco could go down here with a UMP. Picks up 2 Greech. Great frags. I mean, that's some action-packed UMP stuff, but ultimately, Cold Zero will get last kill, and it will be 10 rounds for SK Gaming. Now, Astralis have got to show us what they really have here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was expecting the AWP, the first gun run here for Astralis, but it's going to be Device down to an SMG, surprisingly. So you'd assume as the main AWP, he'd be kind of saving his cash, but he's opted for more utility here and less a weapon, and we'll see what they bring to the table. They have got 1 defuse kit, though. But SK Gaming, this is certainly qualifies as what we call like a bonus round with 2 saved SMGs. All to work with here. And this is one of the rounds as well. We have 2 players with unarmored heads, so those UMPs are going to be a lot more viable here in round number 19.
Dupree holding the boiler room. We'll move forward just a tiny bit. On the other side, Glaive will pick up the kill. That's a big frag, but Fur, what a nice crouch into the angle. Gets the kill in return, and now Kjaerbye's moving forward. That could have been very dangerous. Those two people down at quad, if they had peeked him at the same time, he would have been gone immediately. This is a much better position. They've got the crossfire set up. Smoke to try and break it up. That's not a bad idea. Sip will get one frag there on Fur, and Kjaerbye taking down Taco, and now it's unraveling for SK Gaming. They're only going to get Glaive killed. What was the problem in that round? Did they just slow down too much?
I'm not really sure. It seemed like they were trying to go for a very quick execute at the start there. That's normally the primary idea behind these sort of rounds. You've got the SMGs as well, focusing on one area, trying to overwhelm it at a fast pace. And it seemed like they lost the first couple of frags. They kind of stifled them slightly, and then the crossfires shutting them down. But still, it's all for naught because SK, they know they can buy into this round. As long as they got a few kills there, they're absolutely fine. I think they only managed 2 in the end. So not a fantastic result for them, but Zipex has got a nice little run boost there as well towards B. He's not going to fully commit to rushing down, but still a chance to do some of this AK-47. Flashbangs coming in, and Device looking to challenge him. Maybe boost it up on the wall. What? No.
Oh my God!
That was nowhere near him. The jump, random bullet. Do you like to see that?
Pinch me, Henry. I have no idea if I'm dreaming. That cannot be real.
So just to kind of explain why I was so flabbergasted at that one. When you jump with the AK-47 and fire, you have zero accuracy pretty much. It goes, a wild bullet will go anywhere. And you can see he was aiming nowhere near that player beneath him, but the bullet hits him straight in the head. Very unlucky for Phelps, but brilliant for Zipex, I have to say. 5 and 4, just like that. Almost be tagged up as well, down to 40 HP. And SK looking to strike back. After losing the first gun round.
That has to be just one of the dirtiest shots we've seen, I think, all tournament. Somewhere out there, Simple is smiling and nodding and thinking, yeah, that's it. 4 versus 5 right now. I don't know if Phelps realizes how crazy that was. I sort of hope that he doesn't, because that's gonna...
Zipex does really, because he couldn't see the players at all. He had no idea how far away he was actually from aiming at that player.
Unbelievable. 25 seconds here. SK starting to make their way towards the A-bomb side. Let's see if they can change this round. Glaive being forced back and trying to buy time, which SK really don't have a lot of, but Fur again opening up. He's so good at these openings towards the archway side. Down. And the pity goes down to Cold Zero. They're turning it. They're making it happen. 10 seconds left here. Dupree trying to stay alive. He dropped the bomb as well. Continues to spray, but not enough. Taco will take him down the clock.
He might have won.
Did he just have it?
Just
he does. 2 milliseconds left there. It's now Fur and Taco to hold on against Sip and Device. If they change this round, that might actually spawn the full comeback for SK Gaming. They're right on the edge. Their money is not looking good, and Astralis can feel it too. Creeping in, both of them from the archway side, and Sip with an easy headshot on one. He sees Taco as well. He's going to get him down. What a round from Zipex. 3 kills, and the first one was out of this world.
We're getting there now, Anders. Inferno starting to deliver these crazy rounds, these unexpected events as well. A jumping shot through smoke, of course, on the B side of the map. I'm sure that's what we're going to have a look at. He got the run boost. I got excited about that prospect, but it got even crazier than that. The Molotov dropped, and let's just have a look at this once again. Nowhere near him. Takes Phelps down. It's so rare to see that work out for him. That's so sick. And he comes back and clutches the round as well. What a fantastic round from Zipex. This third kill especially, that's very, very good from him. Taco dropped, and just as it looked like SK was starting to get back into this, 2 rounds in a row for Astralis. Still, bombs being planted for the Brazilian side, so Orbs come out once again, 4 AKs as well. Where is he fallen? Looking towards a banana. No one feeling comfortable here. All the rounds have been very close, so 1 round given away will force down to an eco.
once again. Is someone keeping count just of how many openings he's given SK Gaming? When you're on the T side like this, that's worth so much. Even if that's all he does in the round, just one kill, you need on 9 health, but he can essentially retire in the round and he will have done it. Yeah, that's such a huge advantage for the terrorists at this point, because the CTs have to spread themselves thin, hunt for information, try and get frags in return as well. It's a very difficult spot to be in, and Device, you can see this is the reaction, hoping he can maybe slip into the smoke, maybe try and push them back, but he can feel the pressure now. The flashbang means he has to set up the defenses. He'll be on the B side of the map by himself, just trying to buy some time there as well, and he needs to be very careful here, Device. Yeah, he's the only one who has any chance to hold the B bomb site, so if he goes down, that's it. The whole round is going to be over in a very short time. SK don't know that yet. Instead, they're making their way towards the other side. A lot of grenades being exchanged and a great flashbang. Taking down Taco is Kirby. That's a really good teamwork, but just with the wrong timing there. Kirby can't get the Molotov off in time, and Glaive almost getting caught to something similar here. Fallen very aggressive onto the bomb site itself. We're down to 24 seconds. Glaive will get the spray on one. He almost follows up on Phelps, but it's still Device, and he can't do anything. SK with an 11th round here. Just a great execute to the bomb site. Yeah, very, very good stuff indeed. Managing to work the initial pick. The 5-on-4 comes in. You can see how uncomfortable Astralis were. No information to work with there. Astralis forced to go back toward that B side. Device alone. They come back in towards A, hit the shots at account, and Fallen with 2 kills there. And they managed to keep 3 players alive as well. Astralis now are going to be feeling the pressure going into round number 22. Money won't be fantastic. They have third stage loss bonus, so it'll be $2,400 on top of about the 1K they have per player right now, maybe a little bit more than that. And Device, we say, is the weapon they can probably force, but then that's do or die type. You force by into that round, you're setting yourself up for a really difficult situation going forward. We'll see what they decide to do. Device will survive, gets an extra $300 as well for that kill with the AK-47. 2 players alive now for SK Gaming. They take the lead once more, 11-10. Looks like we're going the full distance once again, Anders. Yeah, it's really happening, isn't it? I mean, this is real CS right now. This started off, what, 6-1 in favor of Astralis on T side? Absolutely. You thought, listen, all right, it's going to be one of those games they just knock it out and they move on and that's it. And SK decided that wasn't going to happen. Yeah, they said no. They've denied it. Now they have the lead on the T side. And as we said, Astralis were going to be struggling with round number 22 here. 2 UMPs and rifles to work with. Not too much in terms of grenades, and I'm sure SK are aware. Fallen's got the AWP once again, looking towards Banana. Molotov deployed to stop any pushes coming in. Spam's coming through to stop any apartment pushes coming through. No damage inflicted just yet, but it sends out a message that you have to go back. You're not going any further than that, Kiabi. Even sitting there is such a risk. I mean, this is something that Astralis were complaining about early when this map got reintroduced, about how easy it is to wallbang all of that. They're still up there and waiting. 2 of their players, and Taco is so close, a little bit more angle, and maybe he could hit the shot. And now that the storm is worn off, they're going to be moving forward. This is interesting. This is something we never saw SK do on the CT side. Banana control obtained by SK. Bomb still down in T-spawn, but they know they've got to work hard for these frags. The crossfire set up here. Does Taco have any idea? Does he know how he can shut this down? A flashbang would be ideal, but it's not a common setup here. Surely Kiabi gets the better of him. He's ready. They did this against Liquid and it worked. They got both the kills that time. This time, shot in the face and a lot of trouble for Kiabi. He can't transfer it on. And that's a great trade. Now they know they can get to it. Dupree, UMP against the 3 members of SK coming right around the corner. This is a really tough position to be in. He's going to get shot in the back by Cold Sierra. Good job waiting for Fallen on the other side. Why would he not do anything else, actually? Sip and Device now. It's a tough retake, but it can be done. That's just such sick awareness as well from Taco and Fur to work like that in the apartments. Fantastic stuff. This round's not done quite yet, though. Bomb ticking away. Well, apparently it is now. They will be going for the save here. Money is in the bin here for the CT side. They've got nothing to work with. They'll have a full disappearance in terms of the cash. So 1,400 next round, and it's 2 saved weapons. It isn't worth it. Oh, no. We don't like to see that. We hate that. They said, Anders, yesterday, the British public, they do love their chickens. You need to be very careful what you do in front of them. Someone should do a study into that, I feel like. 12-10 is the scoreline. Somehow. It's $1,900. That's the second round in a row. So still going to be a weak buy. I love this. They seem to be so aware. This could be a possibility as well. Ducking and weaving around the corners there. Kiabi gets 1, but that's all he can get. And with the flank coming for the outside as well, Astralis were done for in that round. Taco happy about that situation. Had a really quiet entrance in this game, but he seems to be getting there now. And I'll check in with the scoreboard while we're here. So
Fallen, he's going to be a 14 frag, scored 0-15. Actually, it's pretty equal to distribution. 15, 15, 13, 12, and we'll have a look at Glaive. This is the map he seems to drop off on significantly, Anders. We had this earlier in the tournament Inferno as well. He's in 7 for 17. He had this earlier as well. This seems to be a map he can't frag on like he can on others. Mirage, he was lights out. Inferno seems to be where he struggles the most.
It's really interesting, isn't it? It's hard sometimes to explain exactly why that is. I mean, it's not like he doesn't know the map, but obviously having a bit of a personal dilemma at the moment. Got to point out, I think you're right though, Taco, I mean, making it back to 12 kills now, considering his start, that's really impressive individually, and obviously a big reason why they're doing much better now. The gap is only 2 rounds. It's really the economy for Astralis that could eventually break them in this semi-finals.
Well, you can see that's going to be illustrated right now, and there's 2 rifles and default weaponry. Dupree, Glaive, and Kiabi up against him now. The rifles presumably working together. Yep, ZipX, okay, no, he's with Glaive, so he'll be towards Banana, boosted up, I'd imagine, towards the wall position at B. Trying to find that first pick. There it is. Needs to find a frag here. It's a nice idea, but quite common these days.
Yeah, we've even seen Cold Zero pre-firing it earlier in this very game, so they definitely know that that's a possibility. And SK are playing this exactly how you want to see them play it. There's really not much left to chance here. No madness is going on. Some grenades are going to be raining in, forcing Astralis to move back. The 2 most common Molotovs, apart from the first one, that are being thrown to take that top Banana control. Now that they have it, though, where exactly do they want to end up? They've got pretty much everything covered here. And again, Astralis are in the dark.
They do have everything covered, but they haven't worked out what kind of buy they're up against. They know they save weaponry here. They don't have full control of the situation. Just eradicate all the risks at this point. Gain map control slowly. They've got Banana, right? Going towards middle where they look at things as well. We do have one player in the apartment. That's to be Taco, challenging device. That's a key frag to pick up. One of the rifles going down at this. That's big from Taco. And now what's the final play? Time ticking away. Need to be very careful at this point. They're going back towards B. This could be their downfall. That's where ZipX is. So we'll keep our eye on him and see if he can shut down this final commitment. It'll be about 14 seconds when they go in there. There's one player leading the charge. ZipX to follow.
Oh, and he actually picks up the kill, goes for another one. Finally, he gets shot down, and Glaive can't really do much here. 8 seconds left, but that will be the frag. It'll be the 13th round for SK Gaming. I felt like you had to hold your breath then, just because if he picks up one more kill, who knows what can happen.
It was a difficult situation, like we said. SK looking so cagey. That's the point. We're in the 3rd map of a huge best of 3, a massive tournament here. You know they've saved some weaponry. Their stack will be coming in, a slightly different variation of their setup. You need to work out where those guns are. You've done the default. You haven't got much from it, apart from a little bit of map control. 1 kill coming in, back towards B, 15 seconds. ZipX with the rifle. Like he said, if he gets more than 1, if he gets a second frag, maybe there's a chance. Wasn't meant to be. Astralis still feeling the burn, though. Round number 24. They do have a buy. 2 UMPs. 3 rifles lacking in utility. They have to work harder for these picks. Flash is going over. Device knows it. He's going to go for some control here, but there is a gap in that smoke. There's our logs, and this is kind of a problem, right? He needs ZipX to bait him in, but he's only got that UMP as well, so he can't really buy him a lot of time.
I wonder if they heard him, because if they heard him going into that logs position...
They'll be aware of the smoke there. You're going to be checking it. You're not just going to walk past that.
But what if they Molotov it? That's my worry. If I'm Device, I would be a little bit scared for that one. They straight check it. Phelps with an instant headshot. And Sip, you can't really hold back this wave of terrorists coming into the B-bomb site. No chance at all. Glaive, I'm not even sure he should be fighting this. Like, White, yeah, he's going to be falling back. That makes a lot more sense. SK Gaming moving up to 14 rounds here. Astralis have to concede it.
That would have worked really nicely if SK went for a full commitment towards the B side of the map at the beginning. If they're going for early Banana control, you're flashing over with the UMPs, trying to get that first pick, but they got nothing for it. They committed towards logs, and with the UMPs, ZipX can't bait him in. He can't even hold up the frag. Even if he gets one, they're going to be checking logs regardless of that smoke coming down towards Team Squad. It's unfortunate. Kiabi might get a couple of frags, but Fallen, my God, that was a nice shot. Takes him down. And it's going to be round number 14 obtained by SK here. The money is in the bin, and they're going to be hunting for frags. Surely SK, their money's looking actually pretty decent. They'll have about 6-7K per player in the next round. So Taco, he knows that. So looking towards second middle here, tentatively at least, between 3 might walk straight. They might not even see each other. This is kind of sick.
Oh no, they're back to back. They were both in that corner.
That's
they were
so funny.
Literally back to back. 25th round here, and this game is all over the place right now.
What? Surely they have to take a timeout here.
I would say yes.
Yeah, there it is. So this is the replay, right? So they know there's a chance he's going to be there. Straight up pre-fire. Phelps dominates him there. Not really much ZipX can do. He's got that SMG, and that's going to be round over. They save a couple of rifles once again.
Oh, man. What a situation here.
This is going to take
14 to 10. I mean, for SK to come back and win this whole best of 3, it only makes sense if you've seen the other 2 maps, but it's been such an incredible struggle for them to get to this point here. But they seem just very consistent right now. All these rounds are very well orchestrated like this. Nothing left to chance. They're using all the utility like they should, and Astralis aren't being given almost any room to play with here.
Resilient, tenacious, whatever you want to call it. SK Gaming arriving here in the semi-final. It looked bleak at times. The first map, they didn't really arrive until it was already over. Second map, they delivered, and 6-1 down in the third. Putting on a show here on the T side. Another week by Astralis. This is what they've got. Famishes and UMPs. Slight bit of utility to work with, but it's still not ideal. Falling on the AWP. They've got full control of the situation here.
Oh, is he going to try and flash Glaive in? Yeah, he wants to flash him into second mid. That's actually really good that he gets the kill on Fur, because he was probably had all of his attention focused towards second mid, where Dupree was throwing that grenade for. I like that play. I think I mentioned earlier, but that's an opening frag. The comeback here for Astralis just won't be easy at all, but it's absolutely doable, especially if they can turn the economy around in their favor.
5-4. This is a huge round, obviously, for either side. The fact is, SK Gaming looking for series point, and Astralis is trying to hold on to their money the best they can. They have the advantage for now. CT's setting up the crossfires, playing in that pit and bomb site areas, like we said, gifting mid-control towards the terrorist side, and Molotovs just to flush Glaive out of position there, makes him a little bit weaker. Arch split more than likely here, considering they're going to be wrapping to the bomb site. Nothing a banana whatsoever, so Dupree going to be tested. Can't hit the first shot.
He needed to get that kill. The good follow-up there from Fallen right away. Gonna pick up the AWP, try and see if he can snipe towards the pit. 30 seconds, the rotation is coming in as well from the archway. Once again, Device running with the FAMAS, the bomb. Not quite committed yet, they're still lingering around that side. They know that there's gotta be someone on the bomb side, but in fact, they're both down in the pit, and Device will pick up a great double kill, and that will definitely close it out. The FAMAS is usually a weapon we like to frown upon, Henry, but this time it worked out just fine. And did he get the AWP? I think he stole the AWP, yeah, so 14-11.
His Device, yeah. Perfect time to come out of the arch there. You can't believe his luck. They're lined up, both looking at the side. The time was ticking away. It's understandable for them. 14-11, though, you're absolutely right. Keeping a decent amount of players alive there as well. Astralis not done just yet. Full buy for SK. No AWP this time. SK, I assume something much faster comes in this round. You just want to shut them down as quickly as you can. Change the pace. It's been quite slow the last few rounds. That's what I'd be going for right now. They will be going for some banana control. Just chucking the Molotov, though. As we get into round number 26, we're definitely going to see all 30 rounds. That's going to be happening. I can feel it already. Another epic map here to finish off the semi-final. Towards middle, though, this looks like a set piece. No B presence whatsoever. You see 2 players in the middle, 3 in the apartments. You assume the smokes and flashbangs will come in momentarily. And it's up to Device. Oh, actually, she said Glaive with the AWP. That's an interesting adjustment.
Yes. He's had a tough game, so maybe that's why they're thinking, you know what, we'll try and see if we can get you back into action this way. Some flashbangs are raining in, and the jump out from Taco gets one. He can't transfer it on, but still, they're going to crack open the bomb side. It leaves Dupree on here, and the backup is so far away. If SK move up now, they can catch him. He's all alone. He goes for the spray and takes down Cold Zero. A huge defense being put up here by Dupree. He's very low on health, but eventually he's going to fall, but he's got enough time here for Device to come in. Leaves it in a one-on-one. Fallen with almost no health at all against Sipex, and it's the AK, not the AWP. This is very, very tough if you're Fallen. How do you know where Sip is? Moving around on one side and trying to see if he can guess the angle. He's going to be actually walking the right way, and this is absolute madness. I don't know if I can handle this, Henry.
This is going to be crazy. I have no idea who wins it. Fallen, I guess, with some sort of advantage now. Not in terms of the HP, but he's lost track of ZipX. ZipX is on the A side of the map. He seems to be reading it, though. You can see he's rotating through middle. So we've got smokes, incendiary, flashbang as well. Good position from ZipX here. The bomb's planted, though. Open plant. Fallen. How does he win this one?
The really big problem is that Molotov. If he doesn't get just a clean headshot here, Sip will deploy the Molotovs and the smokes, and he won't be able to make it through. This is going to be just one headshot to change the course of history. He's actually using them already, so not even trying to bait him out. All the utility gone. That's really interesting from Sip, and he has no idea where Fallen is. Going to be moving into the UMP, and Fallen is waiting. He hasn't heard anyone tapping the bomb yet. Not that much time left. He's going for the full defuse, and he's going to have it in time. Fallen, he had to take a risk, and it will be Astralis picking it up, even getting the kill there. Another round comes in, 14-12, and SK Gaming, I don't think they're panicked yet, but now they know it has to change soon. They have to close this game out before Astralis get too close.
What a round that was. Back and forth as Dupree holding on as strong as he possibly could for the full A defense. It was looking so good there. Zipek takes balls of steel to go for a full defuse against Fallen, but I guess he got the information. He was low HP, took the gamble, eradicated all the risks, assumed he was towards ruins, and it works out for him. We do have a buy available for either side still. Astralis feeling weak considering it keeps going down to these 1v1s. SK Gaming coming to the end of their money as well. This is so exciting at this point. Every round's a tight situation. No one running away with them. UMP for Zipex and lack of utility for SK. There's two polarizing situations.
This is just a bit too tense. The clutches are down to the 1v1s round after round, it seems. A bit of a peek in there. And Glaive not challenging. Sip is holding close again with the UMP, and they actually allow Phelps to get all the way in towards CT spawn, and he picks up the first kill. A lot of trouble coming Glaive's way now. The bomb is pretty far back, but still, if he loses the bomb side, and he actually already has, what do you do if you're Astralis here? 4 versus 5, do you really try and go for the retake?
This is such a difficult side to retake, but Dupree might find something. He has to make this kill happen. Now he might not get the chance. Finally takes down Fur. They've got information now, and Glaive's doing damage, and Device, they might just be able to pull this back. It was looking so bleak, but now there's a chance. The bomb's going down. They have the advantage.
A shot through the smoke made a huge difference. You're right, 3 on 4 here. They've got some grenades left still. Fallen.
Oh my God.
Scoping at the wrong time. He's not going to hit the shot, and now he has to go back and try and follow it up here. Sees the angle and takes down Glaive, and he's back for more at Banana. And coming up now, it's going to be Dupree walking in with the AK-47. Kerby's down. Fallen not getting the flick, but he's still doing more. He's trapped, and he still gets it. Takes down Debris, and now Device all alone. One smoke is up. He goes for the spray. Can't connect. Cold Sierra gets it. It's 15 rounds for SK Gaming. One more round, Henry, and they will have done it.
My God, Fallen, what in earth was that? That was disgusting with the AWP. You could see how aware he was of the situation, how he was scaring the CTs, was firing shots absolutely everywhere, standing in the open because he showed so much presence at a certain position as well. Device, we thought he had it. It was a no-scope through the smoke as well. And Fallen, he saves the round and finds series points here. Oh my God, through the smoke. So sick. Coldzera to finish the operation there. Oh my God, that could be disastrous now for Astralis. And as I'm looking at the money,
tell me.
You don't want to know about this. I want to spare you.
He's trying to keep me in a good mood. Well, I could have guessed already, Henry. This is really rough. And SK, if they have done the math as well, they're just going to continue like they have already. No risks. Don't give them anything. One UMP and another one Deagle and a couple of pistols.
Surely not. They can't do this, but the way this game has gone so far, they probably will. This isn't done just yet. Astralis, they're going to try and hold on the best they can. 2 UMPs, 3 pistols. It looks desperate, but we'll see what they bring to the table. 3 players towards Banana. These sometimes are the hardest round to pick up a fall, and that fast play towards middle. Once they get the first pick, fires off a shot. Doesn't connect just yet. This should slow down the pace at this point. They'll know that the money's so low for Astralis here. They don't want to give anything away for free. No one can go down without a trade here. That's got to be the objective for SK. Fur, he's been a little bit of a nuisance like that. He likes to run in position by himself. He can't give away a rifle here. Not like to do pre Device.
They need a strong opening frag for Astralis. Has to be quick and easy and clean. Has to give them a rifle that they can use later on. Some bait shots coming out from Fallen. Hopes that someone is going to be flashed in. If they throw a flashbang, then looking into the corner there will be Phelps, and they won't be shot. Not going to connect. The grenades are raining in now.
Here we go.
Phelps goes down. Device actually picks up the kill with the UMP, but right through the wall. Fallen will take him down. Very low risk, and that's a very important shot.
They keep it level. SK's fine with that. Every trade they get helps them out. Just going 1 for 1, that's not a problem. They recover the UMP, goes in the hands of Zipex here. Still so much work to do. Deploying another smoke. The one thing they have working in their favor around is the time. SK probably either push through this smoke or go back towards A. Neither's a good option at this point. Glaive on the other side of the smoke. It's so tense. What's the next play here from SK? The flashbang comes in. Glaive knows he can do something about this. He has no idea there's 4 players on the other side. Only gets the P250. Dumps everything he's got. Can't find the frag. And that could be it. Zipex now up against it. 10 seconds remaining. UMP to defend.
This is the whole semi-finals riding on this one position. They're right in front of him, the UMP. He gets a spray on one, trying to stop the bomb from going down, not connecting. He's going to go down to Taco instead. And now 2-on-3 for the retake. Dupree coming in with the deagle, shutting down Fur, and now it's all on Taco. Somehow they bring it right back in Taco. He's got the AK spraying into the corner. He gets the one, and Dupree on the other angle going for a long range. And there it is. SK moving on to the grand finals against FaZe Clan. What a final, what a semi-finals it was.
It felt like a final. Some of the most exciting Counter-Strike we've ever had. It was so much fun to watch. It wasn't the prettiest, but that's what happens when you have two behemoths going at it here. The skill level is through the roof. Anyone can make anything happen at any time. SK Gaming, after going 6-1 down on Inferno, managed to do it. It seemed like it was going to be a 2-versus-1 situation for Astralis. They might have done just enough there with the pistols. Apparently not, though. Somehow, the resilience of SK prevails. Oh my God, Anders, that was so exciting. What a finish.
An absolutely miraculous display of strength coming out of SK Gaming. That far down, really, really tough match for them, obviously. They're on the stage clapping and for good reason.
Hey, give it up for SK Gaming, guys. And Astralis as well. Fantastic game of CS play. Just a beautiful display of skill, teamwork, and just amazing excitement generally.
I mean, this is just unbelievable. One of the many really good matchups we have in this game. It's not the only one, and I can guarantee you that Carrigan on FaZe is going to be ready for SK. For me personally, Carrigan and Fallen are two of the best and most sort of intelligent leaders that we have seen. Those two go head-to-head. I think it's going to be just pure fire.
I can't wait. This tournament just keeps on delivering. What a semi-final that was. One for the record book for sure. That was so much fun to watch. The clutches towards the end, the tension building every single round. Taco does it, and he avoids overtime once again. That could have gone either way still, even at that point.
Unbelievable. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It is not done yet. The day is not over. And first, we'll go to the analyst desk, and then we've got the grand finals coming up soon enough. So, analysts, take it away.
A full 3 maps, but SK have prevailed. Astralis fall, another added to the pile, and now we have our grand final locked in. FaZe Clan will be taking on SK Gaming, the winner of which takes home $250,000. That's the old major prize pool, and that's just if you win. One best of 3 will determine it, but first we have to dissect this one, and I am joined by some merry men and women. Sorry, Yanko. Yanko, YNK Paunovic, and of course Duncan Thorin.
Well, easy laughs, you know, easy laughs.
It's not even banter. No, you're just cute, that's all. Okay. Let's jump into this one.
Already, isn't it?
You're the master of awkward.
No, well, the thing about this game that was so weird, it applies to actually all the maps in the series, is they were like Henry's baseball cap. Everything was backwards. Like, what was bizarre was, SK is a team where at the moment with this skill-based lineup, you know, you push in Phelps and Fur really quickly, and then you counter on that with Cold Zero with the slower pace. Instead, it's all incredibly slow tactics instead, walking everywhere. And instead, it's the Astralis guys with all the weird pushes in different spots and force buying all over the place. Like, when would Astralis ever do that when they could play for overtime, you know? Do a crazy force buy. It worked for them. So I feel like both teams, because they are familiar with each other's styles, it was like an inverted game in some ways.
It did feel like some of the things we said in the pre-match, right, Yankee? You outlined Astralis do have to mix things up again, continue what they were doing on that second map. Did you get what you asked for?
I think to an extent, right? They obviously had problems in the second half with their economy, as Duncan pointed out. There were a lot of force buys, so you didn't see that much like full banana control, then let's just leave the buys and rotate back to the other side. But another very intense, obviously, and high explosive game. Towards the end of that game, you can see how to an extent, weird it got, basically. You have Phelps pushing B, getting towards CT almost, you know, getting the kill on Zipex, while one player is forward in A apps, the other one is in Boiler, and the bomb is in second mid. Like, you know, they are just trying to take map control, and it's probably Phelps just making the call, listen, like, I can sneak in through here, I can probably get an entry kill, and then Fallen just saying, yeah, go for it. 2 players were supporting him, and it ended up in a crazy post-plant situation. That was around where Fallen got the crazy close-range op kills.
But I mean, we're not, you know, we're not speaking ridiculously. We're not exaggerating, Duncan, when we say this was some like incredibly entertaining Counter-Strike. I mean, as we look through these highlights, right? Dupree and his proficiency in holding that A site.
Yeah, well, actually, both maps, Mirage and Inferno, were really, it was non-stop back and forth on all the rounds. It felt like either SK just like overwhelmed immediately and won with like 4 or 5 Ts alive, or it went to like a 2vx situation, and Astralis was always in those rounds somehow. Inexplicably, and Dupree, Zipnix, so many clutches in this game. At the end here, I mean, if Zipnix gets a couple more bullets out of that UMP when he was spraying on the second guy. Maybe that gives that guy a chance. Like, it was just obviously fantastic Counter-Strike. You could notice, even though SK were the ones on the top of the scoreboard, they didn't look that confident towards the result there. Like, both teams realized like it's going right down to the wire.
And this is interesting. When you bring it up of the series, this is of course series stats. The new addition to SK is actually filling in and ticking some boxes. Phelps, most kills, best KD, and of course the highest ADR. So that's very convincing seeing the youngster.
Well, the thing with that is, like, obviously coldzera didn't dominate as he normally does. I mean, it's a very weird game in that sense. Like, I can see why he wasn't really in his normal spots. But even though Phelps like topped the stats, I feel like Fur was the star of that series. Like, Fallen had some clutches, but it was just incredible how many times early in a round, like that first headshot by Fur when he's just running with an AK, he did it so many times, and it felt like that was what was the backbreaker as he went on, you know.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't mind breaking some backs. Yanko, talking a little bit about that, the fact that we had Ninja Defuse, well, not Ninja Defuse, excuse me, Xyp9x pulling the wall over Fallen's eyes in that 1 versus 1, talking about the fact that we had everyone jumping through smokes into Banana. We had like the most ridiculous plays, but is there anything particular you want to break down? Was there something you wanted to go ahead and bring up for us?
I think something that, you know, not necessarily it was Astralis doing things differently, but very early on, obviously you saw them having a good start, being up 5-0 at the beginning of the game, and that was, you know, to an extent because Taco had a very slow game to start with, and he plays towards pit. That's the most crucial part of the A bomb site that you can play, and this is actually a 4v5 situation for Astralis. You see how they are going to go for an expo play out of A apartments, and that completely catches Taco and Cold off guard. They're playing close up, and you can see how the player jumping towards quad, his task is basically just to draw attention and draw fire to himself. The second player that was jumping into pit, he's there to trade the kills. And Taco, that round, can't make anything happen. That was mostly because of the execute. But you see here, again, he's flushed out by the molly. He has no support left to his own devices, and really just having a very slow game to begin with. I think it was the 10th round where he got the first kill of the game, actually. So that was one of the big reasons why Astralis was able to have such a strong start. SK not really putting enough emphasis on that area of the map.
Yeah, Astralis perhaps having some money issues as well, and Fallen is a step closer to some more money of his own. Getting to that grand final, one more game for him to go, and he's standing by on the stage. Let's hear what he has to say after an enthralling 3-map series.
Thanks so much, guys. We took an extra minute here because after that incredibly close matchup, you had to go take a little breather, but now that you've had a minute to process Fallen, reflecting back on this matchup, do you think Astralis was an incredible opponent for you?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I have been playing this game for more than 16 years, and it's very hard to have the same excitement after so many time. And this game brings a lot for me. It represented so much of what Counter-Strike means to me. It's a game that sometimes you have the advantage, you have a round you should win, and then the opponent is just better. He does something and takes the round away. And I felt like both first maps, we were letting some crucial rounds go away, some good performance from them on clutches. But I felt like on Inferno, it was the opposite. On Inferno, we got some rounds that were not supposed to win, and then the game started flowing again at CT. So this game, I don't know how to express in English, but it's like I have adrenaline in the entire body, and I'm still feeling it right now.
And you have the extra stress of being the in-game leader, calling out these plays that these guys have to follow. How do you rally after a tough overpass?
So Overpass was a very difficult map, and it was expected. It was one of their best maps. I think it could be better for us, but we, like I said before, we let some rounds slip away. And they are just better. We just tried to reset for the second map. We knew Mirage must be ours, and we did a good job on the last 2 maps.
Looking back actually on your history of Overpass with Astralis, I mean, this has been sort of a problem for you guys. Do you see?
And later they couldn't beat us for a couple tournaments, and then when they got Glaive, things changed a little bit and they got better, and we're losing for them. But right now, recently, we were able to beat them, and those guys are very good players. They know they're one of the most difficult teams to play against. Particularly, I think it's one of the worst opponents for us because it's very tough. But I'm so glad we did it.
Well, you guys came out ahead, absolutely. You're heading on to the finals now against FaZe. And when I spoke to FaZe earlier, they said they want to go against SK. They're looking for their first best-of-3 win against you guys in a tournament. What do you have to say to them?
They wanted to play the best. So it's time to show something now. Let's do it.
Fantastic, Fallen. Thank you so much. Back to you guys on the desk.
Wow, I like this. I like this a lot. Not only do we get to see another best of 3, but you have got Carrigan immediately after his victory stating in the interview, I want a best of 3 versus SK. The world's best, as Fallen has said himself. Not only do they get it, but it's on a grand final stage. It's in front of a crowd like this, for money like this. We've been given quite the gift in the end of things, haven't we, Duncan?
Well, luckily from this semi, I don't think you could have had a bad final because the storylines were already set. You know, FaZe had beaten Astralis a few times, but crucially, that's the thing. IEM Sydney final was supposed to be like the coronation of FaZe. Like, right, it's their time to be #1, you know. And then it's like, just as they were about to get on the throne, SK was like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not decided yet. You know, there's us as well. And I think crucially, it's the fact that the guys from SK in that best-of-5 final, like losing another best-of-5 of your FaZe, were able to beat them on maps where actually you would have thought Train, for example, Overpass, these should have been the maps over on the side of FaZe. So FaZe feel like they were hard done by. They want to run it all back again, have this best-of-3 final, and they think they're actually just going to win out on their maps. So I know that they were talking in some interviews, like some spots they've changed up. I think after what we've seen here, the clutch factor for SK, it should be a very, very tense final.
And what are Astralis doing now, Yanko? I mean, in terms of preparation, they've just managed to make the semi-finals. I think blood, sweat, and tears poured into the 3-map series. I mean, they're surely, admittedly not immediately, but at the end of this, there will be a smile on their face. I mean, this is progress. This was good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I mean, and especially on the last 2 maps, you know, the fashion in which those maps played out, you know, you can't say SK completely outplayed Astralis or anything like that. It was just a couple of crucial rounds, clutch rounds. You could hear Fallen say it in the interview, like some of the rounds that we weren't supposed to win, we ended up winning. Sometimes games just go that way, and Astralis is actually the only team out of the top teams that is going to skip ESL 1 Cologne. So for them, they have pretty much a month almost where they're just going to be able to go back, look at their game, look at their mistakes, see what they need to adjust, and be prepared for the major in Krakow.
Yeah, and we've already seen evidence of time off being rewarded. FaZe took a bit of a holiday, come back, and now they're looking absolutely fearful.
I think it's also a very interesting dynamic that we have right now. In the beginning of the year, it was VP and Astralis, then it switched into FaZe versus Astralis, but we didn't see these teams face other top teams in best-of-3. Like FaZe, first time it was against SK in Sydney in the finals, they lose there. Now it's first time for Astralis against SK in a best-of-3, they lose it. So we know that FaZe can play versus Astralis, but now they have to prove here that they can also beat SK, and then the #1 spot is really up for grabs.
Perfect. The #1 spot is completely up in the air, and perhaps we'll get to see a land somewhere here in this best-of-3. That's right, the grand final is on its way. I know there was a show match announced. However, for everyone here and for you guys at home, we have had to postpone it so we can get this grand final running. So don't worry, don't fear, more Counter-Strike coming. Some of you are looking forward to it, I can tell, but do be sure to go ahead, stay hydrated, tell your friends. The grand final of ECS Season 3 is going to be coming to your screens in just a moment's time. Let's check in with Parla.
Going to be speaking to the crowd here at the ECS Finals at the Wembley SSE Arena, getting their thoughts and opinions on everything going on. Guys, how's it going?
Yeah, not pretty good. Should we just do some dabs?
Sure. 3, 2, 1. Let's head inside into the thick of things. Let's go. 3, 2. Okay, wait, okay. Who are you here supporting, might I ask?
Astralis, let's go, Astralis.
Nice. Hey, what do you say to...
No idea.
One more time?
No idea.
Okay. And let's hear it for Cloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex Machini the Machine, my name is Machine Richardson.
Do you remember my name?
Stephen.
Yes. Stephen. What am I saying?
Stephen.
Parla.
Appreciate it. Oh, which...
We day.
Ah, very big boy. Yeah. He's not alive anymore.
Mate, Counter-Strike Go is the best ever.
No more dabbing! No more dabbing!
Except the mum over there, she was good. The mum was fantastic.
Good evening, London. How are we all doing this evening? And a warm hello to everybody watching at home. Now, you see these two seats that I have in front of me. We've got another stretch goal activity for a pro player to take part in with me right now for all of you to enjoy. It's a quiz show, and he is going to have to answer 10 questions. Who is it? Welcome to the stage, Apex. Dan, good to see you. Take a seat. Welcome to my game show, my friend. How's it going after yesterday?
A bit hard, but being here is okay now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reward within itself, right? So I have 10 questions. You've been briefed. They go in, they increase in difficulty as we approach the final 10th question. Daniel, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Are you guys in the crowd ready? You ready for this? Here we go. All right. Question 1. How many LAN maps did ninjas in pajamas go undefeated in their winning streak? Hey, no cheating. I know we've got a lot of G2 fans here, but no cheating, all right?
87.
Is that correct? It is, of course, correct. 87 is the right answer. Thank you to the guy that shouted that out in the crowd. Awful. Question 2, Dan. Which players have won the most majors?
So it's Olofmeister, Pronax, and GW.
What do you guys think in the audience? Throw some names out. Oh, okay. So, you were correct with one person. No, you can't change anything now, my friend. The correct answer was JW and Flusher. Boo.
And Pronax.
If it's Pronax, I didn't do the research, so that is not my fault. You could very well be correct. Thank you, Dan, for that. But unfortunately now, you're going to have to take the L. Question 3. Daniel, who pulled out 2 knife kills during the grand finals of ECS Season 2 to complete his ace?
Device.
Guys, I need to verify this with Backstage. Hello, have some contact? Yeah? Okay. Dan, you are correct. It was Device. That is quite the memory. How'd you have a memory like that?
I don't know. I'm born like that.
Maybe it was Apex. Maybe he was born this way. I like that. Okay, question 4. Ooh, okay. Almost halfway through, but still in the early stages of this question. That doesn't make it. We're almost halfway through. We're talking about the youngest player at this event. Who is it? Don't nod your head like you can't hear everything that they're shouting at you.
I would say Kshabai, the guy from Astralis. Sharby.
Dan, they've just shouted the answer at you multiple times. It's Twists.
I didn't remember.
Oh, Dan. All right, you're doing okay so far, but they're getting harder from here, Dan. All right, no, don't, all right? It's okay, it's all right. Question 5. If you can get this, you have an extremely good memory. This is a very, very tough question. How many barrels / oil drums are there in the bomb site on B on Dust 2?
3.
Is 3 your final answer?
No. I would say 4, but I'm not sure. Fuck it.
You have one more chance to confirm whether that is your final answer or not.
Fuck it. Four.
It's 5. Question 5. 5 barrels. Should have put 2 and 2 together. I'm disappointed. Question 6. If it's 4, not 5, again, it's not on me, Dan, all right? But the card says 5, so for all intents and purposes right now, that is the answer. Question 6. What is the road called from CT spawn to B site on Inferno?
What?
The road, so the passageway.
Speedway?
No, so the actual name on the map. It has a sign on it.
I have no clue.
Via Roma.
Who cares?
Maybe that should be the new call-out. Who knows? Let's move on to question 7. These last 4 questions are extremely difficult. I must warn you. How do you feel currently? How do you feel you've done so far?
Well, I don't know.
I think you're doing well, Dan. Don't be too hard on yourself, but let's see if you can get one of these final 4 questions. Question 7 is, which North American CSGO player has earned the most prize money in CSGO?
I would say Eco.
Dan, would you like to phone a friend?
I don't have friend.
Final answer?
Yeah, Eco. It has to be you, Eco.
Spencer? Is it you? No, it's not. It's Rush from Optic Gaming.
What the fuck?
Question 8. On Cobble B site. How many plant pots are around the statue?
6.
Dan, I'm going to give you another lifeline. One final chance.
5 then. It's 5 or 6, so I'm gonna say 5.
What do the audience think? What number? I see 5s, I see 6s. 17, you're playing a different game, mate. The number is 4.
Who did this question?
I cannot confirm nor deny who it was, but it might have been James Bardolph.
Okay, that's why it's wrong then.
I can't say anything to that. All right, question 9. What 4 nations have produced the top 10 highest earning CSGO players?
Polish?
That is correct. That's one right answer. Can we get a ding, please? 3 more. Think in your heart. Think in your heart, Daniel. Close to home.
France.
There we go. 2 out of 4. 2 more to go.
Sweden.
Go for one more, and then maybe... I'm trying to help him out here, guys. Try it again. 2 more.
Denmark.
I think that might be correct. And 1... Guys, give him a cheer for this. Can he get the final country here? Make some noise for Apex. He's doing a great job. Final country.
Brazil.
There we go. All 4 correct with a bit of help. Apex, we have one final question for. Thank you for that musical interlude. Question number 10. Okay, I'm just gonna read this exactly as I see it in front of me. How much spaghetti vongole in second mid on Inferno? How much is it? How much does it cost?
What the fuck again?
It is less than $10, and so it is $1 plus 50. So I've given you a range of $1 to $9 with plus 50 on, so something 50.
55?
No. 1 to 9. Shh, can we cut the cameras for a second? 1 to 9. He understands. Okay, so like, it's, it's either $1.50, $2.50, $3.50. You see 1 to 9, pick one.
$1.59? 9? Hey, what?
We're not live right now, right?
So, I have an answer.
Let's get some tense music. Can we get some tense music? This is a really important moment. Dan, what's going through your head right now?
$8.50.
And that, everybody, is Apex doing our 10-question quiz. Thanks to the stretch goal, you helped us win. Now, I didn't tell you this before, Apex, but there is a prize. It's not the trophy. Not this time. You will have another shot of that in the future. It is, in fact, 1,000. Raise the roof, 1,000 cents.
What the fuck?
10 euros, mate.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much.
Guys, please put your hands together for Apex. He's been such a good sport. Amazing guy, amazing player, amazing team. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. All right, that will be it from us for now. We will head to a break. Do not go anywhere. We have an absolutely electric grand final coming up between SK and, of course, FaZe. What is going on, everybody? It is now Sunday here at the Wembley SSE Arena for finals day here at ECS. We have Astralis going up against SK and Cloud9 facing off against FaZe. What's your name, my friend?
Hugh.
And who are you here supporting?
Cloud9.
It's a pretty momentous occasion for this team, on the rise again, perhaps?
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good to see him on Friday. Got Shroudy getting rowdy, of course.
And so, is it your first time at a big event?
No, I went to Cologne in 2015, but C9 got knocked out the day I got there.
Exactly, so maybe this is the perfect storm for C9 and yourself. What have you thought overall about the event?
Absolutely great event. Good to see a crowd. It's great stuff, really.
No doubt, it's awesome to have an event in London, and the London and British crowd and the international crowd that come to these events in London always seem to deliver. What do you think about the stage setup with the clear central screen and all the extra information around it, that awesome picture that we have right up top?
Yeah, it's absolutely great. It's great to see everything that's going on. It's nice to get a full view of the game. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and so after this, do you think you'll be attending more ECS Face It? What is going on, everybody? It is now Sunday here at the Wembley SSE Arena for finals day here at ECS. We have Astralis going up against SK and Cloud9 facing off against FaZe. What's your name, my friend?
Hugh.
And who are you here supporting?
Cloud9.
It's a pretty momentous occasion for this team, on the rise again, perhaps?
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good to see him on Friday. Got Shroudy getting rowdy, of course.
And so, is it your first time at a big event?
No, I went to Cologne in 2015, but C9 got knocked out the day I got there.
Exactly, so maybe this is the perfect storm for C9 and yourself. What have you thought overall about the event?
Absolutely great event. Good to see a crowd. It's great stuff, really.
No doubt, it's awesome to have an event in London, and the London and British crowd and the international crowd that come to these events in London always seem to deliver. What do you think about the stage setup with the clear central screen and all the extra information around it, that awesome picture that we have right up top?
Yeah, it's absolutely great. It's great to see everything that's going on. It's nice to get a full view of the game. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and so after this, do you think you'll be attending more ECS Face It finals in the future?
Definitely. If they're as close as it is now, I'm there.
There we go. Thank you so much, Hugh. Dude, you better get inside. The queue is growing. Enjoy.
Will do.
Your favorite team won't always win. Your favorite player won't always succeed. But you don't care, because you have faith. You believe. Now that the regular season is over, the battle for esports supremacy begins. 8 of the world's top Counter-Strike global offensive teams converge on Wembley, London for the ECS Season 3 final. The big question: will Astralis defend their title and emerge as back-to-back ECS champs, or one of their opponents, yearning for glory, snatch the title from their hands? Find out this weekend. The ECS Season 3 Finals live. It's going down.
Hello and welcome to the ECS Season 3 Finals here at the SSE Arena in London. To all the incredible esports fans that have joined us in person, how you guys doing? I love the crowd here, and I love the crowd watching at home. We've got so many fans cheering these teams on along the way, and now we've arrived at the finals. Our two teams have fought incredibly hard to get here, and with so much on the line, $250,000 in fact for this match, you can't blame them for leaving it all on the floor. So it is my distinct pleasure to invite our two finalist teams to the stage. Please welcome FaZe and SK Gaming.
Good evening, Wembley. Good evening, London, and good evening, fantastic Counter-Strike. We've had a fantastic road here already. Both semi-finals provided, one perhaps more than the other, but it does culminate. This is the crescendo, the climax. We all love those, and this is it. It is going to be big, it's going to be loud, and hopefully, certainly one team will be very proud. Best of 3. Can we make some noise? Let's show the world what London can do. Let's show what the Brits can do. We can't play Counter-Strike, but we can get excited about it. And I'm not alone on this panel. I'm joined by 2 lovely faces and brains that will be providing me with all the necessary insight, and you guys at home. We have Sam Days Marine and Janko YNK Paunovic. Gentlemen, I butcher your last name all the time. Is that every time you look at me, you're like, you still haven't got it right.
I mean, I'm going to start pronouncing it like you do, so it's fine.
Yeah, you could butcher my pronunciation of my name as well.
Alex Machine Richardson.
Oh, he's so good. So damn good. That's why we have him on the desk, ladies and gentlemen. But all serious, all smiles. Let's remind a little bit about how exactly we got here. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as they set up on stage, and before I get to pick these guys' brains about it, this is the road to finals. If you've just joined us, this is how these 2 teams found themselves on this stage playing for $250,000.
This is what every esports fan in the world has been waiting for. You all are about to feast your eyes on a battle of epic proportions. As FaZe clashes with SK Gaming for the ECS Season 3 Finals Championship. Hold on tight. Buckle your seatbelt, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down.
It's gonna be fantastic. ECS Season 3 Grand Finals begin now. And now we have to understand what on earth is gonna go down. I'm still catching my breath from that second semi, Days. I think we have to kind of start there because SK Gaming have just come off a marathon of Counter-Strike just to get here.
Yeah, I mean, they went through the group stage pretty easily, actually.
Sure.
But versus Astralis, I think it did teach us a lot. I mean, they looked really good on a map that I didn't think they were gonna be that good on in Inferno. So it kind of taught us a lot about them, right? That they're getting better on those maps that they need to be better on. Yeah. And just always improving, man. SK is just always getting better. They're never satisfied. They're always just looking at how can I improve.
Absolutely, and of course, things have only improved as time has gone on. Let's bring up those brackets. We started with 8 teams. Now we've shaved that down to just 2, and some of the names here, in fact, all of the names here are top contenders within the scene, Janko. The likes of G2, Fnatic, Optic, Cloud9, Liquid, they've all fallen to some of the names standing on stage now.
Absolutely. I mean, we were saying in the very opening segment of the tournament how actually very rarely it does happen, but we had the best teams from both regions here at the finals, and even the likes of Optic, who have dropped out of the group stages. I mean, they've underperformed for their standards, but their group, you know, you get matched with FaZe, SK, and G2. 2 of the teams they had in the groups are in the grand finals, so you can't really expect that much from them. Obviously, the big surprise was Cloud9 winning 2 best-of-1s and making it straight into the playoffs. I think Liquid, despite dropping out of the tournament in the group stages, they've shown that they have been constantly improving. They put up a great fight versus Astralis, almost took them down, and probably the biggest disappointment of the tournament is Fnatic, because unlike some of the other tournaments where they were a little bit unlucky with the draw and some of the tiebreaker situations, here they drop out of the tournament losing to 2 North American teams, Cloud9 and Team Liquid, so they're definitely going to have a lot to think about on their way back home.
And absolutely, you've got a lot to talk about when we bring up FaZe, of course. Those who are unfamiliar, the man on the far side of our panel did actually play. You shared the game with Nico, one of the stars that has ignited quite the run in FaZe. He's been the catalyst to some incredible success and some stats.
Yeah, I still believe like Kerrigan was the #1 change that they needed to make, but with Nico, as you said, the catalyst for the team. And the thing with him is he's just an all-around player. He literally can do everything in the game. Great with pistols. Obviously, his deagle is notorious far and wide. Good with the AWP rifles, of course. He can clutch, he can lurk, he can go in first for the team. And probably one of the most important traits that he has for this level of competition is the fact that he is very intelligent about the game, and he can give good ideas to Kerrigan when he maybe, you know, comes to a halt with what they're supposed to do as a team. Having him in-game just within the round on a different part of a map than Kerrigan, he can give input, like spot weaknesses, and then give ideas how to exploit it. So between Kerrigan, Nico, and Robin, there's a lot of, you know, minds there who contribute to their game.
And I'm sure, Sam, as someone who values the leadership, the strategy, the depth of Counter-Strike, you can appreciate when you've got Robin, Kerrigan, and Nico all kind of coming together to culminate in success.
I mean, as a former in-game leader, it's the best tool you could have, is someone that takes the pressure off of you around doing this, and because of that's what makes them so valuable.
Absolutely, so damn valuable. And on the other side, not only is this a rematch from IEM Sydney, these be single man on your screens now.
And they're always trying to get better, and they're so humble about it, to know what's weak, to, and they scrim a ton.
Right.
They
rank us when they're very, very desperate.
50% of our featured matchup, we can bring it up, our head-to-head. Phelps and Rain. Phelps, of course, let's not forget, filled almost every single category in their previous best of 3. He was filling in highest ADR, highest kills, everything under the sun he was performing on. And on the other side of things, Rain, someone that I know that you've been impressed by, Janko.
Yeah, absolutely, because Rain is one of my favorite types of players. He's that guy who is not necessarily super flashy. I mean, obviously he's capable of it. We've seen some amazing clutches from him, but he's that guy on which you can always rely on. Like, you put him in a spot and you know that Rain, you know, almost never is going to fail you. He's going to get at least one kill. He's going to play it intelligently, going to buy time. He's aware of, basically just knows what the best move is for him in order for his team to win a round. And those players are basically gems. I don't think you have that many players, even in Tier 1 teams.
You agree with that?
I do, and you know, I actually think that Phelps, when he replaced FNX, I think FNX was kind of Mr. Reliable on SK. With the way he could hold his spot, you could always rely on him. And when they did make that change, I was a little worried because Phelps holds things in a very different aspect, right?
Sure.
When he makes plays, when he's holding a site, a lot of the time he's... What's going on?
Oh, fantastic. We get excited about everything. This time it's a beach ball.
I mean, beach balls are great.
So much about having the brains of CS here to break things down.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
But anyways, I was a little worried about Phelps joining them because he does play a different play style, right? He isn't like Rain or FNX where he's just going to be on bomb train and just have a solid performance every time.
Yeah.
Because he's, you know, lurking around smokes, playing behind something. He could play a round of an execute that you do. If you do it 10 times, he might play it different 6-7 times.
Right, that variation.
But having said that, he just keeps improving and improving with SK, and now that he's developing more of that play style to be more of like a rock solid, just Mr. Reliable type player, again, like it's only going to make SK better, and he is improving in that aspect.
Absolutely. I do want to make sure we have ample time to talk about those vetoes. You do make your point, but we will start that discussion as well, yeah.
I want to say that the environment in which that SK Astralis game was being played is perfect for Phelps. Like super scrappy game, you know, clutches and 3v3, 4v4 situations all over the place, individual fights and so on. That's where he can thrive, you know, get behind you, get a lot of information for his team. That's why I think he had a great game as well. But when it comes to the vetoes, the bans are pretty straightforward. Nuke for SK Gaming, Cobblestone for FaZe, and this actually means for the whole tournament we haven't seen one nuke or one Cobble.
Damn.
Yeah.
2 maps completely absent from the pool.
Yeah, when it comes to the picks, like, okay, we see now that SK Gaming did decide to pick Mirage yet again. You would think perhaps they finally go for Cash because it is a very strong map for them, and similar to Astralis, for FaZe as well, they do play it, but it's not as high on their death chart.
Do you think FaZe is going to pick Overpass?
I would assume so, but you know, talking to them, they weren't like talking to Nico because Kerrigan is the one who decides alongside Robin basically, and he wasn't really sure what Kerrigan is going to go for. I think Overpass was definitely in the conversation for them, but they might go for something like Train as well.
Whoa.
Or Inferno.
Hello, throw down the gauntlet. We're going back to Inferno.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
We've just seen this.
I think Inferno for FaZe, they consider it one of their strongest maps, if not the strongest map. Like, you have to remember, looking at stats for FaZe so far doesn't mean everything, because they've had more than a month to just practice things and revamp their map pool. So they have a different, basically, view of their map pool than we do from the outside.
Absolutely, they have taken that break, and I think every team, in one shape or form, has voiced this at various intervals, that want to mix things up for these big events, mix these things up so that we can't be as predictable coming into that major. We do see Overpass ban down.
I think Train is the decider here. Yeah, for FaZe, like, they're a much comfortable team on Train than they are on Inferno. And also another thing is, you have to remember, I think the last 4 times these two teams didn't, like, they played 4 times in Sydney, best of 5 grand final and a best of 1 in groups, and FaZe lost every single game. Twice on Train, once on Overpass, and I think the last map was Cash, perhaps, but the thing is, SK has a very good score recently against them, and we always talk about how the team that lost is always going to look back on the game and find ways to adjust.
You can see team huddles are going down, and you know what that means, London. It does mean game 1 of your grand final is moments away. The last couple of words, I mean, Sam, is this simply just Karrigan monologuing? Is this just him doing, you know, that shock speech that we've seen before?
Honestly, they're probably just, I mean, most likely they're going over what they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I'm pissed around, we're going to do this. Just a reminder of just everything that we want to do going into this first map.
And the first map is Mirage, and therefore we need expectations, gentlemen. We know it's going to be good Counter-Strike, but who comes out on top?
So I predict SK. I think SK, for me, is a super complete team. I think that where we're really going to see SK outshine FaZe, in my opinion, is in the 4v4s, the 3v3s. I just love how slow they take it. They make sure everybody is in position.
Yeah.
They know who needs to attack first, who needs to attack when. They use the clock very well. And I think in 5v5 CS, I think FaZe is really well structured most of the time.
Yeah.
But I think in the 4v4s and the 3v3s, that's when I think SK's experience and teamwork is going to, you know, get them the win.
Headsets are on, Yanko. Give me that prediction.
I think that's actually the main thing to talk about, because FaZe, after that grand final in Sydney, they were completely caught off guard by the way SK Gaming plays in clutch situations. They're so patient, they take so much time, and FaZe felt that was the main reason why they lost that grand final. So look towards that and see how they try and adjust. I'm going with FaZe for this grand final.
SK, FaZe completely split, and I think that's a perfect place to leave it. Mirage will be your first battleground, and let's not forget, there are not many maps, not many games of Counter-Strike that have this much on the line. Not only is it pride, not only is it momentum becoming up to that major, but it's also $250,000 to first prize. I mean, that is a lot on the line for 3 games of Counter-Strike, and that's if we get to 3. This is it. This is your grand final for ECS Season 3. Let's find out with your casters how Mirage is going to go down.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richardson. And just before we get into this game, I need to say a thank you to the people here. Thank you to the people watching at home as well. Without you, any of this isn't possible. We've broken some records on YouTube for Counter-Strike so far. Maybe that will continue tonight. But also, thanks to all the madness and beach balls going on, I would like to announce that next year, we will be back here in London, June 9th and 10th. Tickets are available now. More on that later on, but it's time for Counter-Strike, Dan.
Yeah, it is, and I love how the devs are split there in their predictions. I think that's the best way to go because, of course, you've got the history that tells the tale, right? That strategic teams can be difficult for FaZe. Stylistically, it can be difficult for FaZe. But FaZe, they've had all that time off. Who knows what they've been working on all the time when they were boot camping, when they were talking even on holiday. They know who the big problems for them are as like a stylistic team. You know, Astralis are similar in that fashion to SK, and that's why that rivalry is so interesting. But this is another similar rivalry in that sense. So maybe, James, they're going to show us something very new here today.
The GLHFs are coming through in the chat. Time to take your seats, boys and girls, because Mirage is about to start. SK Gaming starting on the defensive side, and it will be FaZe on the attack. Rain and Karrigan, full grades. HEs as well as flashbangs and smokes. Don't see that every day.
It's like a fast pace as well. FaZe want to start this off in a very aggressive fashion. Everybody's starting to rally towards that A position. SK, it's like almost a knife round where there's a miscommunication where to me, everyone's stacking towards one location for either side. SK playing the A retake. Just Fallen, looking to see what's going on. Nice first pop, that's what you got to do if you want to hold these big pushes as the CT side. And now he's got some help as well. We've already seen how powerful those T pushes can be towards CT spawn. And there goes Fallen. Taco trying to rise to the occasion here. A lot of players to deal with, just teasing at the moment, trying to buy time for his teammates to come and help him out.
Indeed, he is buying time, and Fur is making his way through Palace while these fights are happening. The bomb is planted for CT, and the kills are going either side, and now it's down to Fur, the last man standing. Position unknown at the moment, but there's one play towards that, spots the head, but can he take it down? Yes, Karrigan, it's too late, doesn't know where it's coming from. No kit onto third. Can he draw Nico out? Nico with not much HP. First got to force the fight, but Nico just needs to stay alive. And, well, that's doing even better. Taking the pistol for his team. FaZe start off well versus SK.
That was so close as well. I love how FaZe were trying to play that, trying to take control of CT Spawn, but SK Gaming were making it so difficult. Earlier today, we saw how Astralis approached the situation as the T side. They get a couple flashes short and deep when they want to take these positions. We didn't see the same flashes here from the T side of FaZe, but they were still just able to take it away in the nick of time. So let's see how this quick start for them is going to finish, because they have to deal with these Deagles, and they've been so problematic against Cloud9. They were so annoying. FaZe be able to hold against those.
Fallen is keeping most of his money in the bank. He is looking to save for that AWP later on, and we've seen him do some disgusting things already to help his team make it to this point. Very tough fight in the semi-finals. Oh, Cold Zero is one, and important crouch stops Ali from getting taken down as well. Very important crouch peek indeed. More Deagle fire coming in from the B bomb site. No flank at the moment, but Rain is on the way. 2 Ts. Oh man, these Deags cannot be stopped at the moment. 2 kills for Taco. Spots the bomb carrier as well, and SK, they're going to have the high ground. Phelps, he's the last man, but he's on the high ground. They don't know that he is there. If a default plant comes in, then maybe there'll be more problems here for FaZe.
Phelps, position unknown. The surprise element, that's how he wins this round. Still unknown. Great position. He's trying to play it smart at the moment. Nice pick off. Can collect the AK as well. All of a sudden, a doable round here for Phelps. Now, the only problem is Rain knows where he is, but he does not know where Rain is, although I think he's got an inkling now. He's seen him over wide shore. The play comes in, knife to try to dodge the angle, but just as Rain was moving as well, such a tense battle between these two players now as Phelps tries to get a superior angle, trying to get it. Oh, Rain taken down to critical health. 2 points of health remaining on Rain. That could not have been closer. 2 rounds now for FaZe against the 0 of SK Gaming.
Tense start. Massive damage done on the force fight, at the very least for SK. Maybe that comes into play later on. But for now, the AKs are coming out, and they won't have much to fight against in this eco round for SK, mostly USPs. There is a Deagle onto Cold Zero. 2 with 3 rounds in that. This is the 3rd round, and the Deagles are popping off already. Cold with the 1 Deagle on the SK team for this round. So we'll see what FaZe's approach is. The bomb already on ramp, and it looks like it will be a standard split for FaZe Clan. 2 players in the middle area. Mid can be somewhat precarious for an anti-ecoing T side. Exposed to many positions, but of course, there isn't much going on in terms of weaponry for the SK side. Standard stuff, the smoke dropping into the connector position.
I think normally that would suggest that they would be going to B as well, trying to go up to Catwalk. But instead of going towards A, into the stack. There is only 1 Molotov on Rain. This could be a little bit hairy. We'll have to see, though. That's a very well-placed Molotov there to try to weed out any players in the shadow position, of which there is 1. But for how much longer? Looks like he's been managed to evade that Molotov damage. First just sitting in shadow still. I don't think that anyone has seen him just yet. Still in that position. Went up the ladder, but the superior weaponry will be more than enough for FaZe as they, in a coordinated manner, move through the bomb sites. So a little bit worried for them there, but that's a good recovery after how much damage was done by those Deagles.
It's buy time. Fallen has exactly enough money for Kevlar and AWP. Well then, first starting with the UMP on the buy round for the CT side. The rest of them in with the M4s and a sniper rifle onto Fallen. Reasonable number of grenades. Fast plays from FaZe. We've seen this from Ali as well, moving quickly up to short, but first it will be Rain on the first buy round of the grand finals. Oh, Rain, he spotted some info, but quickly comes back. Tries to get some more. Maybe catch a CT out of position. He can still play his normal role. Maybe looking for somebody in CPL. Nico taken down in the meantime, but Kishin has made his way to Sandwich.
And so far, we see a lot of kills towards the connected position. Still one player that could cause issues. Rain, he's managed to find himself behind enemy lines, playing a very covert role, and he could be the playmaker that can make this 3v3 very advantageous. Spots the one, execution comes in, onto 1-2, and the third on the spray. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Rain. What a start from him. Highlighted on the desk, and you can see exactly why.
On the desk.
Brilliant play.
SK quickly heading towards max loss bonus. Pistol round though, with some Kevlar here and there. One smoke on Fur. That's about it for this round. For SK, we'll see where he deploys it. Fallen, creeping, can't quite get the snap onto Kyoshima. Good start to this anti-eco round from FaZe. Carrigan looking too far beyond the balcony position. That will give an opportunity to SK, but they won't retrieve the SMG just yet. You can see there's a flank from the CTs as well, so Alu is somewhat stuck at the moment. The CTs may go for some kind of double peek. They'll prove successful, and that may spur on FaZe to move into the A site, which in fact they've done. Fur putting in some damage as well. It's a 4 versus 2. They've picked up an AK and a MAC-10.
It's looking very, very precarious at this point. Kyoshima does manage to eventually trade onto Fur, who is stuck by the stairs, but the damage really has been done indeed. There is a couple Kevlars here on these CTs as well. Phelps and Cold, although Cold is on 11 health. Kyoshima now trying to take CT spawn, wants to get a quick engagement to even the numbers before all the CTs are available for a coordinated attack. But they so far evaded Kyoshima, but for how long? He is now just sitting in a very open position towards Connector, looking for that first man. Where is it going to be? SK playing that slow style and caught off guard. Taka coming in with a MAC-10 from CT, causing problems. It's down to Nico, a 1 versus 3, and he doesn't know which way to look. It's going to be Taco now with the defuse. SK steal around.
3, 2, 1. They've just got enough time to defuse the bomb. It'd be lovely to see that on camera. First round on the board for SK, 1-4. And this round will be just as important. They don't want to get reset in this situation. That would be very horrible for them. So opportunity still knocks for FaZe. They've got their full buy, 4 AKs and AWP. So let's see what they're going to be up to. Fallen on the sniper as per usual. Again, we know SK as well as FaZe have the power to go double AWPs later on. Aggression, order of the day for Fallen. Very close with the AWP.
No kidding,
got support from Cold as well.
James, when do you take that angle? That's insane.
When you're Fallen, if you're Fallen and you have a sniper, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Most of the time it works. That's what we've seen today.
I guess he gets the free pass. I think that is fair indeed. Well, we have right now middle under control of FaZe. They got top mid, they got bottom mid as well. Kyoshima can see that he's actually slightly paranoid that there could be aggression behind him, that someone could be pushing the B apps. Now Alu looking to try to open things up with the AWP as the smoke is soon to dissipate. FaZe, how do they convert this mid control? That's always a big question. We do have Alu, I believe, running all the way back for the bomb now as they want to go for that triple-pronged attack onto the A bomb side. It's a scary one, but SK, I think they have players in position to deal with this. 2 players close to slope is often good at beating these rushes.
45 seconds on the clock. Fallen still facing forwards, but maybe Rain will soon emerge from the Palace position. Missing his shot, and now where does he reposition? He needs to get back into a safe space, and this really isn't the most ideal position for his AWP. That might not be either, but he'll make the best of a bad situation. 30 seconds remain, and the bomb's rotating away from the B bomb, from the A bomb site towards B. Rain will lurk in the Palace area. There are still 3 CTs here, but they're starting to realize something is afoot. First, starting to rotate, going through the crawl space, but for now, Taco is alone. He can't stop the bomb from going down. Rain pops from the flank, but they have no idea. SK, they've still got 2 players towards the A bomb site. They haven't seen the bomb just yet. There's no rotation.
Crazy play here from FaZe, all the way to be Taco caught out of position. Now it's down to Fur to at least just buy some positioning. If he dies, his teammates will get locked into that shop area. He has to stay alive in this position. He can't push just yet, but he can with a flash. Now his teammates have made it to the B bomb site, but the problem is he'll be taken down by Nico as he goes for the play. Knows someone's by bench, calls it, but now indeed they're stuck in the shop. How do they get out of this position? There's no smoke at this point to stop them, but if they're to move through those choke points, surely they will go down. Good attempt from Fallen there, but they will just have to concede this. Nico Going in for the hunt, finds himself a headshot onto Fallen and the finishing shot onto Cold. SK will get away with nothing.
FaZe looking extremely dangerous, and those are two crucial kills because SK had two players on $3,000 or more, which means that they could have dropped. They probably would have bought around what they had saved, but they get completely wiped out by the likes of Nico. And he's just getting started. 5-1 in favor of FaZe. Looking good for a... Oh, they are going to buy it, actually, regardless. So they've gone for the force buy SK. 2 UMPs, the Mag 7 onto Fallen. Third down to the CZ. They had success with pistols earlier. Now they've got a bit more. It's very much easier said than done to win a round like this. Rain maybe waiting for a pop flash from his teammate, just creeping, looking for any gaps in the smoke. 1 minute 30 on the clock. Fallen has taken a very forward position with the Mag 7 on a ramp. And there is Nico around the palace, keeping the CTs honest as they re-smoke CPL.
SK Gaming are a team that don't want to allow FaZe to have a rounds where there's no pressure. They always want to keep the pressure up. And SK Gaming also very good with pretty much every weapon, always a plan. But the plan could perhaps be undone by the likes of Rain. He's been stellar so far this tournament, and he'll open up the round this time against Third, taking Connector away from the CTs. That's some information gone. An opportunity perhaps for Phelps, but he'll immediately get traded. Carrigan with another one. The entry into the B-bomb site. Fights 1v1s being won all over the place here by the FaZe players. Just leaving Cold alone with a UMP, and he's sorely out of position to catch the bomber, unfortunately. So he's in a spot where perhaps all he can do is save a weapon and play for an exit of some sort. Does find an AK, which is always nice, but that's about it so far for him.
Alu should have been able to hear him. From the apartments, you can hear a CT around that short position. So if you're going for a fast pick, for example, towards the B bomb site and the CTs are looking to get aggressive from short, you'll hear them at the beginning of a round. So Cold will try to hold on to what he has. A disastrous start for the Brazilians here on Mirage on the defensive side, heading towards 6-1. They're only going to get 1,900 for losing this force buy. So FaZe are going to be running away with this first half, it seems. And again, Nico will not allow any saves by these CTs.
Yeah, this is actually an insanely strong first half so far for FaZe. Just those resets hurt so much. You can see how reluctant SK were to just go for a straight save in this situation, wanting to take momentum back away from FaZe, wanting to keep their money down so they can force ecos later on, but it's really not to be the case just yet, as the money can now start to build as SK are forced to this save. A CZ, a Deagle, that's all that we really see here so far for SK. And with a fast push into the A-bomb site, a well-coordinated one, FaZe will likely crush this round. SK would be lucky to even get a couple frags, I feel.
But they've got giant USPs down, surely. They're bigger than the AKs, they must be lethal. And maybe they are, but it's the CZ to get the first kill onto Kiyashima. Can that gun be retrieved? We'll soon find out. Maybe not. Wipeout, the USP kill from Phelps. And Fur, the last man standing in a smoke. He might get a cheap kill here. Take him a while to realize where he is, and he does indeed. Some cheap damage, but the round is in favor of FaZe, and that's what counts at this point. FaZe on an average of $6,000 in the bank.
It's kind of insane to get that much damage, James, out of 3 USPs, a Deagle and a CZ. Like 3 kills against a full buy round, all pushing into the A site with grenades. That's pretty ridiculous.
It's nice, but I'll tell you what isn't nice, Dan, being 1-7 down versus FaZe Clan in the grand finals on the first map.
That's true, and they would love an AWP in this position, but they are going to be up against some aggression. SK want to level that disadvantage by going aggressive with their lack of utility, taking the fight in an unexpected manner towards FaZe. And it's worked. They've got a pick off early on, but looks like FaZe want to take advantage of these CTs out of position, going aggressive in middle. They know there's space to be taken for free on the A-bomb site. That's what Nico's done. He's fast to that position is sandwiched, but doesn't get anything. It's Carrigan instead to get a trade to make life a little bit easier, but they're getting wiped out at the moment. Looks like SK are in really good shape now.
SK alive with 4 players. They want to keep it that way. Again, the money is going to be very important. Alu, quick snap, but no fatal connection. Carrigan rotating the bomb, perhaps to join his teammate, but they don't really have the numbers game to even play mid at the moment. But Alu needs no numbers game. Fallen taken down. trying to play against the blind spot, not quite working out for him. 50 seconds for FaZe to do more damage. Phelps moving through a ramp. FaZe better decide where they want to go soon. Taco creeping around the connector area, but he needs to make sure there's no boost around CPL as well. In fact, he has much work to do. And it seems that FaZe may have found the gap, the missing piece in the jigsaw puzzle, but Phelps is rotating back around to Palace. He's not going to top mid, so time is of the essence here. 17 seconds, and Taco's repositioned. He's trying to read where these teams might be playing. Where could they have gone that we haven't seen them? Where would they plant? 10 seconds. They're going to go for the short plant. Taco is there, but Alu, very patient indeed. Phelps has to go slightly wider, and that is the round one. It's too late. Alu needs to save. The Molotov coming out. Not the best play in that situation, and they will lose all their weaponry.
It was so insane there as well. The timing of Taco actually jumping out of the window was just as Alu peaks the window position from jungle. It was so close.
Nico was unlucky around the sandwich Tetris area. Jumped while he was firing. It wasn't a good situation anyway. Double peak at the very least. One high, one low. 2-7. FaZe had money in the bank and they've spent it for this buy. There were limitations after they lost some players on that eco round, which is going to leave Nico with a deagle and $100 in the bank.
Here we are, another mid-take from FaZe. This would be the perfect round to win after SK, of course, just won one, trying to get that reset in again, as they've been so good at doing so far. Rain with a fast take of this connector position. And it's so good to have on this map. You can do so much from connector. You can play lurk off of it whilst your team, goes towards B, or maybe you can, help on the split efforts towards the A bomb sites. You can take away information from the CTs, create pressure. It's such a spot for the Ts to be able to use well. And interestingly, we'll see Alu also in this ladder room. You can do so much from that as well. Pressure in towards the window room, see if there's anybody there. Oh, that's a lot of damage there from Rain. That could very well have been a kill for Lucky to be alive. As Rain, again, keeps the pressure up. Whilst the team takes space and entries towards B, that could be the opportunity now as they start to move to that B bomb site.
Taco's just made a push all the way through A, but can the rotation come in fast enough? Perhaps not for having to fight in the middle area. They'll at least keep Rain entertained for a second, but FaZe, they are just winning the duels, as simple as that. 3 versus 2 at present. Taco making his way to top mid, and Phelps will try to be the bait in the meantime. Spotted in CPL, he can make his way towards market. I don't know if Taco's been heard in the short position. You see Nico holding an angle towards that market area, but he's heard Taco. Now the shoulder pick allows him to get past the angle, and now his teammate can move in at the same time, but he needs to win these duels. Trying to pre-fire Nico, flashbang coming out, and Nico's ready for it. Out with the pistol, Phelps can't get through the window. FaZe win another round. They can't string rounds together, SK.
So, such a sick entry frag from Nico. He managed to get a 1-dig on the guy all the way at bench just as he entered from the short position. And if Nico doesn't make that frag, it takes so long for FaZe to almost do anything. And here it is. That is so sick. And that's the frag that allowed FaZe to take that B bomb site in the first place. They had the positioning, but you have to have a player that can just go for those insane kills. But now we're into the next round. It's 8 rounds for FaZe and 2 for SK. We see a couple of deagles for them, a UMP, SCZ. It looks desperate, James.
This first half is looking like a write-off. Technically speaking, 7-8 is still possible, but how likely is it? Not very likely at all. Fer going for an aggressive push through B apartments, but it might not be enough at this point. He's lost 2 of his teammates already, and the bomb is still in T-spawn. He might just about not see it as it's collected by Nico. Taco with a flashy kill, but it's a 2 versus 4. His teammate's gone towards mid instead of T-spawn to A. Opportunities missed, perhaps. A double dink. Surely it's a matter of time until these last 2 players go down. Taco's managed to collect a UMP. See if he chooses to save it. Hasn't got much health, and again, they've got that economical reset, so it would be something going into the next round.
Yeah, things really do slow down here for SK. I mean, they're a team that's so good at keeping the pressure up, but FaZe have obviously been doing such a great job themselves. Nico at the top of the scoreboard at the moment, 15 kills, already 6 deaths. Absolutely beasting. We saw some great rounds from Rain as well, able to get behind enemy lines and make big plays. And those are 2 of the biggest playmakers on the team, on an incredibly skilled team. A lot for anyone to deal with. Hopefully we can see SK managing to find some fortune to get themselves some rounds in this first half. And FaZe have been pretty active on middle in a lot of their rounds. Like that seems to be their clear default. Get some connector control in some rounds, get the ladder room as well, build from that. That could be something that SK can look at. We've seen previously SK tried to challenge it early round when they didn't have many weapons. Perhaps that's another, perhaps we'll see that again on the next buy.
His dad sells Avon. Shout out to Avon Dad. Could buy you some perfume, Dad. 2 rounds to the 9 of FaZe. Fighting with pots and pans, SK, and they've been purged, expunged, removed from the kitchen. It's a brutal first half, Dan. I don't know what else there is to say at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the pace on the first 3 rounds was insane, and it didn't really seem to slow down after that. And that pace is where FaZe live, to be honest. Their players really good in those aggressive situations, so it's not too surprising. Rain getting shot in the back there. A rare situation, usually it's Rain shooting everyone else in the back. But taste of his own medicine, perhaps. But it's fine, everything's fine. SK Gaming only have Cold Zero left with a USP and no armor, so FaZe will likely soon eliminate him. It'd be hard to see Cold getting much done from this position. Obviously, it'd be amazing if he could get a kill, steal away a weapon, try to save that weapon into the next round.
He could inspect the washing products in the market, Dan. Could spend his time doing that, because there's not much else for him to do in this situation. FaZe about to head to double figures, which means that there are all of 3 rounds for SK to try and claw back in the first half of Mirage. They will get 2,400 for the loss of this. So they're going to be on roughly $4,500. Again, they will be lacking in their buys, but at least they'll have some rifles. They've been in bad situations before. I don't think they'll be too phased, no pun intended, by the current situation. It is a best of 3, of course. Some flashes, some smokes, and some rifles for SK. But what can they do with it? They've tried passive, they tried aggressive, and they're still stuck with 2.
And it's always so difficult when you see SK like really needing rounds and they can't afford an AWP. But here is the mid-aggression I was talking about. But Rain, incredible aggression himself, rushing the short position, but the trades are immense from SK Gaming, eliminating all of the top mid presence from FaZe Clan, leaving just Nico and Alu in a 2 versus 4. But there's almost no grenades here for SK. A couple smokes and a couple flashes, that's it. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity for FaZe to win this round with 1.5 minutes left.
They need picks at this point. You saw the CTs, they spotted Nico towards top mid, but it wasn't a fight that they needed to take. They don't need to give the 1 versus 1 in this situation. 4 on 2, very strong position for the CTs. And even if one of their players goes down, it's likely to be a lot of information for the CT side to at least trade or position accordingly. Bomb needs to be collected by Nico, and he's heading that way. 50 seconds on the clock, so we don't really know where FaZe will make a play. I think it's reasonable for them to expect 2 people per site. See Alu picking up the AK, does not want to get traded when they are low on the numbers, so they're trying to be more nimble with the AK-47. Spotted 1 player, not sure if he saw the guy on toll booth. No snipers for the CTs, that may help them slightly. And there's Fallen, picked off towards CPL.
Yeah, less than 30 seconds to go now for FaZe to make a move onto a bomb site plant. They'll have to get things sped up here dramatically, I would say. 15 seconds, Nico, he loses the bomb and shop, and that's surely curtains in this round. Alu can't get there in time, and now it's all he can do to try to survive, but that will not be the case. 10 rounds for FaZe, SK now with 3. Off the back of that victory, off the back of that crazy 3-man mid-aggression. That's what they needed, James. Crazed aggression.
Lots of cash for FaZe, so they'll have no issue or little issue with buying in this round. More pressure to come the way of SK to get their 4th round on the board. We'll see if they can do it. Alu's back on the sniper, despite dropping it in the previous round. No sniper for SK in this round, so I have to be careful at which angles they choose to hold. Versus the Finn Sniper Lord. Fur and Phelps close to ramp. Fallen very active, Cold moving into B. SK trying to get a read on the situation. Smoke and B apartments at the moment, and FaZe taking it slow. SK did get 3 very quick kills in the previous round, so FaZe will change the pace. It is theirs to dictate on the T side. Alu holding a passive angle in case there's a mid push. And there's that infamous pop flash. We've seen many kills from that by many players on Mirage. Just over a minute, and FaZe start to get active, taking the bomb towards A.
Yeah, just waiting patiently. I love these two-man slope setups, very aggressive. But again, there's a shadow advantage from this position for Ferb. So let's see if he's going to get fortunate. If there's only to be one player there from this angle, Ferb should have a massive advantage. We'll see how it develops, though. There's players all over the map here for FaZe. They have a couple towards connector now as well, as they start to encroach upon this site. And there is that massive advantage that first angle gives him. And Molotov did nothing to stop him. It is only to be Nico to be able to make a frag so far here for the FaZe side. Carrigan chiming in a trade over at B. Madness all across the map. But 20 seconds and the bomb is down on slope.
Nico's alone. 2 of the 3 players tagged, but he's got 15 seconds. Pretty much needs to run to his doom at this point. He's got $400 in the bank, 400 bucks, as Dave would say. Insta trade is there, and SK, they find their 4th round. The money is questionable for FaZe, so perhaps life becomes easier in the last round of the first half of the Brazilian side. Cold 0 with the AWP for this round. Right, then let's see what FaZe have to offer. Again, the Deagles have been very strong across the board at these LAN finals. Rain at Nico and Kiyoshima looking for the meat shots. Aggression, though, from Fur.
Wow, not even firing a shot there, Nico. Fallen now in a great position in shadow as the rest of the FaZe players finally on a 4-high start to push into the A site. But it's going to be fairly lackluster in the face of Fallen's defense. A couple kills for him. Ooh, Carrigan there. Getting very interesting towards the short position. Nice pick off for him. Alu knowing that there's a player nearby. Fallen he killed one of his comrades, or just Fur just previous. Fur taking a dink there. Alu switching away from the grenade there. Not the best timing. He's now the last man standing as Carrigan's been neutralized. And it looks like SK are holding tight onto that bomb by the slope position. Well and truly in their hands. What does Ali do here? It's a very tough position. Got to go for it. Of course, it is the last round of the first half. As he makes his way up with a UMP. He's going to be trying and praying for a miracle. What on earth was that shot? Able to take down Fur. But that's going to be 5 rounds for SK. To be honest, a fairly decent result if you consider how dominated they were for the well, for the majority of the first half.
Yeah, they got the last 3 rounds in a row, so we were looking at a 10-2 scoreline up until that point. So it's a slight recovery, but it's definitely a fighting chance moving into the second half. And indeed, there are lots of emojis in the chat, so check those out. One of the new additions to the YouTube gaming platform, custom emojis. Let us know what you'd like to see as well at Faceit on the tweeters. So we're back into the pistol round, and it seems that SK will be headed towards A, at least with the bomb. 3 players in mid for the time being. So we'll see what they are proposing to their opponent's FaZe. Alu getting shot straight in the face, but his Glocks are not at the ideal range.
Yeah, really fast push up mid, no messing around. The pace for both teams on the pistol has been so fast. Fur rounding the corner, finding Nico. Taking him down with excellent play from that pistol of his. Now it's time for the retake. FaZe start to muster an attack. Start to position around this bomb site. Start to coordinate in, but we have players from SK all over the place. Their positioning is fantastic. All these forward spots. You can see Kiyoshima is so wary of going through the vents. It's very difficult. Meanwhile, though, Rain has found his way to a very close position on the slope. This may be very unexpected. Easy frag for Rain. Could be the difference maker as he picks that one up. Kiyoshima as well, winning battles towards this jungle position, but Fur's holding it down. 5 HP, and he'll get 4 kills in this round. Fur has been a god on these T-pistols throughout the entire tournament.
That is exactly the start they needed, SK, and now it is catch-up time. Perhaps they can forget the horrors of the first half, the nightmares. 4 rounds between the 2 sides. Looking at the investment from FaZe. Alu saving for AWP. It's not a full force. Some people have left $500–700 in the bank, but the Deagles are in play. 3 FaZe Clan members looking for these meat shots. There's Nico. Infamous Nico. Not in this round, however. Some damage done to Cold. There we go. Kiyashima picking up the slack. He'll drop with Rain almost in stereo fashion, leaving it a 4 versus 2, so percentages go up wildly for SK in this round. Bomb's been left top mid. Not proposing anything crazy, our FaZe, and for, again, he's the expendable man of this Mac 10. It's okay if they lose it. Not the best versus armor, so he can take risks, and he loves this stuff. He's a cleanup man for the SK side, running around with constant aggression, and he's making some bank as well.
So just like that, it's going to be a quick...
Health and safety.
7 rounds for SK now. So only 3 away. And if you consider, again, how the first half started, it's all kind of leveling out, beginning to. Obviously, the tale will be told as we see this first buy round eventually come in from FaZe. But for the time being, that won't be it. We'll see whether or not we'll have FaZe able to really do anything with just stock USPs. Should be another round for SK to just make loads of money. And looks like SK are going to have a fight on their hands. A rush of middle.
Daze previously mentioned in the studio that it's really, it can be really dangerous to go mid on an anti-eco. And it did look a bit tricky there when those flashbangs started to come in. FaZe playing the numbers game, but to no avail. A brief round in favor of SK. 8-10, the buy coming out for FaZe. Alu on the sniper, of course. Due to the investment in the second round on this half, the grenades will be limited for FaZe. And that might mean that they get aggressive. They might make a play, push into uncharted territory. 2-1-2 set up from the CT side to kick things off. Phelps around the corner from top mid. Fallen keeping the CTs honest, looking for a peek, looking for a jump, but the smoke will start things off. And let's not forget the headshot we saw from Skadoodle.
Yeah. I can't ever forget that, James. That was just savage stuff. You throw a flashbang and you'll just die, even if you're behind a wall. Incredible shot from Skadoodle. He had a great Mirage on the T side. Can be very difficult as an AWPer as well, generally speaking, on the aggressive side here. SK actually giving us just a little bit of a breather, just playing a slower pace than FaZe was on their T side. So we're getting a slower round here as they develop their map control. They themselves, as FaZe were, have middle though. Quick Molotov in there. Nico will understand there is pressure in from that middle position, that there are players here. Will he? He's not really in a position to be flashed in by a teammate, but he'll take a dry peek there onto a pretty shallow angle, finding Phelps, trying to just creep up into mid for free, or rather into the ladder room for free. It won't happen this time though. And now going back for the bomb SK. They're set up for the A push. It's time to kick off this push into the A bomb site, but FaZe, they have 3 players here to defend.
Kishima moving into a forward position on short as well, so Thursdays may be numbered. Bomb thrown to a teammate. Definitely want to make sure that doesn't hit the floor and give something away. 20 seconds for SK to push in. Nico's going to get traded by Taco. You see the positioning, you see Alu's support. That may take these teams by surprise as this clock continues to run down. The gun dropped now, sorry, the bomb dropped. Coldzera no longer has it, he's dead. Fallen, forced to retreat in the dying seconds of round number 19. FaZe move to 11. For asking if there was a gap in the smoke, to which Nico replied yes.
All right, so the first gun round won by FaZe. I mean, it's always a little pressure off your team when you can do that on this map, because you really want to have a lot of money for those buy rounds. You want to have the AWP out. Sometimes teams like to have 2 AWPs on the CT side, and you want all the incendiaries, and you can do so much with it on this map. Never want to play it with no economy on that defensive side, so it'll be interesting to see what we can get here. Very fast push coming in from Fallen. What on earth is this? We'll get traded eventually, but an ace straight to the face. This is not football, but can't head that one back. Fur will make his way up the connector position. Look to see what else he can find, as right now FaZe down to 3 men on this defense. It's going to be tough. We saw Rain do this previously. It's so dangerous having someone go behind lines, and that's what Fur's going to do and pick up the kill onto Carrigan. 2 players for FaZe now.
Kishima was passive towards short, could not stop the connector play from being made. Rain trying to hold on to CT at the moment, but we see Fur's position. He is a problem. Again, SK taking their time. They've got 1 minute. There's no need for them to commit. They don't need to go crazy. They're being very, very careful, trying to minimize any potential mistakes. This is a game where mistakes are capitalized on at the top tier. Fur finally coming in for the flank, and if Duran was not already over, it certainly is now. Kishima left on the B-bomb site, wondering what's happened to his comrades. 11-9. A lack of money on the FaZe clan economy, so they're going to have problems moving forward.
Yeah, SK could be doing somewhat of a mirror as to the first half, but now, you know, having them giving a lot of problems to the CT side of FaZe with their very nasty resets. You never want to see it if you're on the CT side. It's, as I mentioned, you really want to keep that money going. It's so hard otherwise. So it'll be interesting to see what FaZe opt to do in this next round, especially if Kiyoshima can save this AK, but he can't. He gets hunted down by Fur. So no guns saved into the next round. That's always very annoying, as you really want to keep that pressure on, keep that economy low, keep the damage coming. And what you want to do with as little as money invested as possible here in FaZe's position. So what do we see? A few deagles for them. So far a 5-7, not much else. And here's that super aggressive play. Crazy stuff, and straight
in his face, man.
Straight in the face.
That was in his mouth like an apple. Well, SK, it's anti-eco time, but again, these deagles, man. Nice open map is Mirage. Not when there are smokes down. Fur with the opening kill of the round. Not much to say at the moment, really. For FaZe, just need to hope for some opportunities with these guns. They are subject to the will of SK. Getting some revenge for the previous half. Only one round won so far by FaZe in this half. 5 now for one are the SK side in half number 2.
We'll see if they can keep it going against FaZe. What are FaZe going to go for here? Obviously, that reset has so many implications. It just takes you ages to get that optimal buy-in. So another situation where we'll see the saving come in from FaZe, and you know, different teams will take different approaches here. We saw Cloud9 previously just investing loads in spots like this, but we see almost a full save from, in fact, a full save from FaZe. I really like this. They only have one flashbang.
It's not a full, yeah, it's not a full save, then you lied. You got a flashbang.
You got a flashbang, yeah.
Why are you lying? There's so many people here. You lied to all of them.
Oh, the spray down comes in. A nice little stack there going on in the connected position. 2 kills. That's a really good result, considering that there's no investment. And AK picked up as well by Alu. So perhaps some more damage to be done. Cole's very low here, and Alu is actually in position to take him down. Alu could do something here, but he'll get taken out by Cole. No Kevlar. Always sad times. And this is the problem that Cloud9 had, James. They never had money because they never did like 2 full ecos. But now, look at FaZe.
We're going old school, Dan. We've got Carrigan AWPing on Mirage. Vintage Carrigan, but will he be successful? Double AWPs, Alu and Carrigan. Third one on Fallen. This may be a nasty surprise for SK. We'll see how they are able to deal with this, if they're able at all. Phelps moving towards mid, and there are 3 people in B. I'm sure it's just initial map control being taken by SK, but perhaps one person will make their way into mid via the underpass. Taco lurking towards A in the meantime, and you see SK looking for openings, and Carrigan, oh, there is a gap there, and he's going to get the first tag. Be the recipient of it, I mean.
And now it's a waiting game, all those smokes up. We'll see if SK want to keep the pace very slow. I mean, they've generally been running a slow pace on their T side. To be honest, it has generally been working. They're looking for a response here from FaZe, but on that double AWP, they're going to play it passively. It's going to work out. The patience It's going to reward Alu, picks up the kill onto Phelps in middle. Now we get a play attempt here from SK. They want to get something back against this team, and it's Fallen to do so. Who else would it be with the AWP? Kiyoshima now in position to try to ruin their day as they start to shuffle into this B bomb site, try to take control. The bomb, I think, could be going down very shortly as another frag comes in from the likes of Cold. Kiyoshima still in position. They don't know where he is. Comes in for the second kill. Kiyoshima doing big work there on the B bomb site. And Fallen, he was there to support, but now he is the only man left.
Kiyoshima will finish him off as well. I was wondering if Kiyoshima saw the T jump out of the window and move into the site. I'm assuming no, because he was just focusing on the balcony position. But it paid off in the end. Multi-kills from Kiyoshima. Lovely burst there, tapping a burst at the end. Taco was lurking in the meantime towards A, but he wasn't really able to make any plays because there was a late smoke on the ramp, so he was just forced to stand there and spray through it, which isn't the best fake in the world, but it's all he could do at the time. Then moving through, he eventually got picked off by the last player once the rotation had already come in from the CT side. Double ops continue with the third one onto Fallen once again. Lots of smokes in the middle position. At least 4. 5th on A ramp, and third's been picked off very quickly indeed.
Yeah, that was very fast from Nico, I think an underpass as well. So, we'll see now if these, I mean, in a situation like this, the double ops obviously very strong. I mean, playing passively is brilliant when you've got that man advantage. But if the Ts do go for a set piece execution somewhere with all the smokes, it can be very hard to deny the bomb plant at the very least. And retakes can be awkward on the B bomb side. So I wonder if that's the finish here for SK. They do have a lot of players on catwalk at the moment. Taco could provide some distraction towards the A position. When will he go? Does he wait for distraction? Oh, the angle's good. Nico looking for that one, though. So smart is Nico. And now Taco will be forced to go for a play. Able to take down Alu, not looking towards his position as, of course, all the distraction towards middle has definitely caught his attention.
Fallen's got to be careful now because Nico was just around the corner, but Cold Zero picked him off from the ladder position. Who does this favor? The man advantage is still with the CT side, then that CT is still on A. Rain doing the job again, often left on his own. So much trust in Rain, and he almost always delivers. FaZe 13-11 now. The comeback has been on for SK, but perhaps it's been stopped in his tracks. They've still got the cash to buy, but FaZe are getting closer to round number 16. Great 2K from Rain on the A sites.
SK with that tactical timeout trying to discuss what is to be the approach moving forwards. It's definitely a very hard-fought match at the moment, very close between these two. I didn't expect FaZe to be the ones leading for the majority like this. Coming out the gate so strong. What do you anticipate from SK, James? Do you have any inkling as to what they might like to do in this next round?
Well, first, someone actually accidentally pressed F1. It's interesting, sometimes every now and then you see an auto buy accident by somebody pressing F1, but I don't know why they don't just remove it from their config, because when, as a pro player, do you want to use the auto buy button? If you remove it from your config, then it can't be pressed. What do I expect to see from SK? It's tough. I don't think that the double ops from FaZe has even been so much of a factor in these recent rounds. I mean, one issue is the output from FaZe has just been too much. They're winning a lot of the duels. That said, SK have been closing the gap since they've started on the T side, so maybe the AKs are the answer. Someone's crashed, so this round is going to be restarted. No action has happened just yet. It's a false start, people.
Yeah, it's good that this happened at the beginning of the round and not, as you say, in the middle when there's been action. Yeah, so SK, they haven't actually played very quickly in a lot of these rounds, and again, they know there's a double AWP out, so I would be surprised not to see something a bit quicker from them. I mean, Cloud9 were actually able to have a lot of success playing that very fast style, playing that execution-heavy style as well, so could be something they're going to go towards, I think.
Oh, he's still got it. What a beast. That's not bad.
Could be worse, could be worse.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Would have expected Global with the Ronaldo haircut. I think many people in the crowd might be too young to remember that horrific haircut at the World Cup, no less. Very curious stuff.
Hey man, if you're a famous football player, you can get away with anything. Right.
Playing poker now these days, Ronaldo.
So back into the action here. It's, again, 13 rounds for FaZe, only 3 away from taking map 1 at the ECS 3 Grand Finals against SK, who now sit on 11 rounds and are having a decent comeback into this after that first half was quite dominant. But the double AWPs, they've come out here for FaZe, and they're definitely strong.
Carrigan towards the B-bomb site with his sniper. Nico and Rain playing on A. Ali moving between CPL and jungle. And Kiyoshima near Karrigan for support. In the meantime, SK starting slow towards the middle area, waiting for any initial grenades. Cold and Taco, 2 players towards A. That would suggest an A play to me, ultimately, even though the bomb's in the middle area. Nobody lurking in apartments. Shenanigans from SK. Fallen, flying. He's on the end of the Titanic. He's Kate Winslet. Looking for a cheeky peek through connector. And that CT position is a common one where you walk in for a peek, but Nico, he cannot be stopped. No AK needed. And that's the bomb behind the smoke, in control of the CTs.
Yeah, but Phelps is going to creep around the back. You can see the bomb. He knows Nico's in connector. He knows what's up at the moment, but he's got players behind him to worry about. Now his position's been discovered. Down to 4 HP, tried to retreat. And now it gets so desperate here for SK. You can see they're trying to take plays all over the place. Not really happening for Taco. And now that just leaves 2 here for SK. And the bomb is in control of FaZe. This is not what they wanted. It's all gone horribly wrong. Now it's Cold against 5. Quick consolation frag, maybe 2. Cold going for number 3 as well. Making a good attempt at it, but it won't come too easily or quickly for him. 20 seconds to go. Even if he can make it all the way to the bomb now, I don't think he'll have time to plant. This is so desperate. But damage can be done as Cold looks to play off the smoke.
Yeah, that's a smoke you don't see so often, but from time to time, the T's can drop that smoke. It allows them to look around the corners. You can jump up on the bricks as he just tried to do and see players towards CT. So when that smoke goes up, you've got to be really careful as a CT player that the T's might be trying to play a one-way. Good effort by Cole towards the end, but what a shot from Nico. Again, the bomb taken down in isolation. And Phelps, he could have got so much, but the rotation coming in from B caused problems. Ultimately, it was Rain to get the kill. FaZe looking very coordinated, a well-oiled machine. 14 to 11. SK with some difficulties now. No more snipers. 2 Tech 9s, 3 AKs for the side. Cold and Fallen in B apartments at present. Phelps top mid and Fur towards A with the bot.
Karrigan looking for some information. Perhaps. How aggressive will he get, or will he just sit here? Looks like he will back away a little bit. And there'll be some prodding, some poking from SK. It'll also be apps, but it'll be very, very passive for the time being.
Fuller dropping a smoke, I think, to isolate a short player, but he'll get picked off in the meantime. It seems like SK were trying to serve a fake towards the B bomb site, but it's not really worked out for them so far, losing a player. And now they look to split the A site. Phelps on short, Ferg gets picked off as well. More problems for the Brazilians. Nico will not allow a connector to be taken. He'll get traded eventually, however. 3 versus 2. Things fragile now for both teams.
It's going to be interesting. 45 seconds to go. Bomb down by the slope at the moment, so pretty retrievable for these SK players. All looking for the next man, feeling his presence with a pre-fire. Make his way now towards CT, where there are 2 players. This is a big moment, but he can't take him down. Kiyoshima so fast. And now Taco with the deagle in hand, starting to peek. Hard range to connect those 1 deeks. There's 1 though, looking for number 2 as well. Will FaZe risk it? Looks like Rain will come in to save the day and eliminate the last remaining player in Taco. That's 15 rounds now for FaZe. 1 more, and they have map 1 in the bag.
SK on roughly $3,000 a person. They'll get grenades. And that may allow them to close the distance and try to use these Tech 9s and abuse these FaZe players. But easier said than done, especially when Nico and Rain are firing on all cylinders. Nico with 25 kills at the moment, but Rain leading the charge with 26. Alu playing catch-up, picking off Fur, moving through the underpass, 25 kills himself. And there's Rain with another one. It's a 4 versus 2. SK smoking the CT position from Tetris. Good smoke to learn, but it might not be enough to save them here.
Yeah, it's looking very desperate at this point, but it's fallen in cold in the clutch situation. Those are the 2 players you want, but it won't work. Nico's in position. A quick duo of kills from him, or double that is, as they go 16 to 11. Yanko predicted a FaZe victory, James. What do you think after such a performance?
Well, they've taken the first map, that's for sure. Both teams putting in work on the T side, but ultimately, FaZe had gone too far, winning with a 5-round margin in the first map of this best of 3. I still think SK, never count them out. We've seen that already. We saw that in the previous match, of course. They can always come back, but it's FaZe who get that psychological and literal lead in this series.
Yeah, they just look so on point, don't they? I mean, it's so hard to pinpoint a distinct weakness when it comes to FaZe. I mean, you've got Nico, you've got Ali. I mean, just the list of players alone is just incredible from that individual perspective. They can play fast, they can play the slower rounds. One of the cool things to me about Mirage that I look at with any team is the team's ability to basically take middle, but then do something with it. That's actually very hard for these top-level teams to do against other top-level teams, but here FaZe did it with confidence.
Yeah, we didn't see much successful all play from SK in that. Maybe we'll see it in a second map. But first, to look over that first map, it is the analyst. Over to Alex.
Thank you so much, James and Dan. Yes, the first map concluded, and when FaZe are on, it's very hard to find faults. Those are the words of DDK, and hopefully to help poke some holes in this game and understand it, comprehend it as best we can, I'm joined here in the center of the SSE arena. The crowd going to go ahead and get themselves fed and watered, stay hydrated as they get to look forward to some more Counter-Strike. We're going to talk a little bit about this one. Sam Days Marine once more time, as well as Janko Wanke Paunovic. Trying different things, man.
Trying different ways to butcher my last name. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate
Fortunately, though I may be bad at pronouncing your name, I am good at asking you, why on earth did FaZe just look terrifying? A 10-5 half, Rain and Nico, 27 frags apiece. It's just...
You answered it.
Oh,
Rain and Nico, pretty much. I mean, you know, we talk about a number of duos like Kenny and Shox, Cold and Fallen, for example, or Fur and Phelps, even Simple and Guardian, but Nico and Rain, when they are on fire, there's very little opponents can do, and those are both riflers. I mean, you see it from the pistol round, it was Nico. First gun round, it was Rain. Second gun round, it was Nico again. Just having triple or four kills a round. Not really much you can do, and they were always just in an advantageous position, doing whatever it takes basically for their team to take the round.
I mean, I'm kind of speechless. You just get to watch it in quick succession. You realize just how, like, this was one map, Sam, and it's highlight after highlight of FaZe.
Well, I think this map showed a lot that when you give Nico a little bit of space in like a 4v4, if Rain goes out, he gets one kill, goes 1 for 1, and then there's just a hole somewhere inside the map, and you just give Nico a little bit of space.
Look at this.
In like a 3v3. These are the things that he does.
That was disgusting. Like, and that's the kill. That one frag wins them the round. Like, he gets the kill on Cold. That gives away control of B, and FaZe from that point on wins the round. So really, there's not much you can do about it. That's the thing. Like, SK didn't really play that bad in the first half. They just, you know, had nothing to work with. You lose pistol, lose the first gun round, then you get immediately reset after you win a gun round. So you could see how they try to switch things up with aggression, being aggressive towards mid, being aggressive towards apartments, trying that same setup with Fallen playing close-up ramp. Right. But sure, it would work for that one round. Then they would go on to lose the next one because they maybe wouldn't have enough utility, wouldn't have enough confidence to go for aggression 2 rounds in a row. FaZe would punish them, and then they would have to go back to pistols.
Please.
Yeah, and can we talk about the fact that FaZe didn't fall into the trap of just constantly force buying once you have a lead like that?
Despite proficiency with the force buy weapons.
Yeah, and they're one of the best force buying teams. But what did they do? They made sure they had a good buy. They got Kerrigan on the op. They got Olo on the op. And then that was the round we saw, you know, Keo win that 3v1 or whatever, or the 3K when he was a Van, I believe it was. And they just, you know, they made sure they had a good buy, right? And they didn't fall into that trap where they were just spending absurd amounts of money on these rounds where they really don't need to. It doesn't give them the highest expected value to win.
Have we fully moved away from the force buy culture?
Oh, of course not.
Definitely not.
Are we moving away from it, though?
No, we are not.
I mean, I think this tournament has actually been a great example of how it can go wrong for you. You know, when you force buy and then you lose the force buy, obviously, you lose the first gun round, suddenly you're down 5-0, 5-1, and it can be very, very difficult to recover from that.
Something Astralis actually vocalized that when they were talking about it before, of course, now not present in the grand finals, but they made it very clear that their problem was that if you do lose that one gamble, that one investment, suddenly you are staring down the barrel of 0-5, and they just couldn't get that swift start. Turns out those real kind of, I always call them like Henry G buys, because I know that he gets really happy when he gets everything. None of that UMP nonsense. He wants his 5 rifles, maybe throw in an AWP, and everyone's happy.
But I mean, you look towards the second half, and it seemed like SK was replaying what FaZe just pulled off. They win the pistol, win the first gun round, then they lose the second one, but reset FaZe straight away. But that's where the difference was. FaZe didn't force up too much. They waited for that healthy buy, and they figured out a way how to adjust basically to what SK was doing, and they adapted pretty quickly and did a great job of stopping that comeback before it became a reality.
It did get very close, from 10-5 to close to 11-11, 11-12. Now though, Yenko, I do want to see this breakdown. What have you chosen? What have you selected from Mirage?
I mean, this breakdown is basically just a highlight reel of Nico and Rain.
I'm down.
That's what propelled FaZe towards that early lead. You saw that first round where Rain got through window, gets one kill, then sneaks through murder hole basically, and just finishes the round for FaZe. When when a player is in such a strong position, you can see that Taco was a little bit, he was walking. He didn't expect Rain to actually be so aggressive and go through the murder hole. This is Nico 3v3, I think, or 3v4 after playing situation, just gets a kill, cleans up after that, doesn't allow even FaZe to SK to save their guns. And this one dig, which is just disgusting. It's just that's one kill. Just round is over. That's all they needed. Obviously, it's incredibly hard to hit, but
no, that's literally like one of the hardest kills in the game to get, because anytime you're holding W on catwalk, if they peek you at bench, I mean, it's obviously just a complete headshot angle. You're just, you get that kill as a CT, I'm telling you, like 9 out of 10 times.
And yet Nico...
Unless you're playing against Nico, though.
Yeah, right, exactly. And when you do watch it in quick succession, that is not like a highlight reel. That's not a frag movie. That is not anything like that. If you're going to do it, you have to be good at it. What is this? It's amateur hour over here. Amateur hour. Disgraceful. That's FaZe fans for you. Anyway, back into this closing thoughts, and that is, of course, the fact that what Nico and Rain are doing alongside FaZe, I want to ask kind of the question DDK posed at the end of Mirage is, how do you find holes in FaZe? Like, what is their weakness? What is their, their Achilles heel? There must be something. Every team has something.
There is, and that's them getting a bit overzealous and over-aggressive in some situations, especially when they're winning. They might go and take unnecessary risks individually. I mean, Nico, that's one of his main flaws that you can point out, that sometimes he gets too eager to close out rounds and to get those highlight reels. But the thing is, SK tried to, when you're getting crushed individually, you want to try and do things as a team. So you negate the dual advantage maybe that your opponents have. And SK tried that, and it worked a couple of times. But as I said, whenever it came to the crucial round, FaZe would manage to win it, reset SK, and they were always on the back foot throughout the game.
Now, Sam, the final words are with you regarding our next map. I'll let you kind of dig into this one. Now, just to clarify, we got Overpass up next?
No, it's Inferno, right?
Inferno. Yeah. I thought we had it on the third. Okay.
Well, I mean, SK looked good on Inferno, right? They played it well. I think it's going to have to do a lot with Fallen. I think he really needs to punish them on the CT side from the aggressive plays, stop them from getting map control early. You have to kill the aggressive riflers, right? You can't just let them do whatever they want. You can't let them just let them like take ground. And Fallen's one of the best in the world at that. So I think especially at B on Inferno, I think Fallen will be successful with that.
Okay, so pressure on that to shut down FaZe before they get rolling, before that hole you've already highlighted gets poked, and Nico does the rest.
Yeah, I mean, Inferno was actually the one map in that grand final in Sydney in best of 5 that FaZe did win, 16-12. So maybe that goes towards SK's favor going back and looking at it. But if anything, FaZe on their CT side need to be prepared for the slow pace of SK. We see it time and time again. They go into the bomb site with 10 seconds remaining. It's 2 seconds left when the bomb is planted. Pretty much they're really, really willing to, run down the clock.
Navi style.
And we talked about it beforehand, and you just highlighted it, right? That could really work in your favor against FaZe if their players are getting overzealous, overcommitting a little bit too much, maybe trying to do a little bit too much, getting a little bit impatient. And SK really punishes you when you play like that.
Well, I think that is enough from us. We'll have all your casters be filling this arena with their voices after our break. But first, something very exciting. We get to hear from a character you don't often see in Counter-Strike. Karrigan is on the stage. He's battling for a $250,000 game of Counter-Strike, potentially map of Counter-Strike. But his dad is in the crowd, and we had a little chat with him.
I'm stood next to a very special guest. Sir, could you give me your full name?
My name is Carsten Andersen.
Andersen, that sounds familiar. Maybe we can spin you around. It is, of course, the father of Finn Andersen, also known as Karrigan, from FaZe, the first team in our finals here at ECS. How long has he been playing CSGO for? When did you first find out about him and his aspirations?
He has played since he was 7 years old, I think. He had a hobby like football, but then he had some problems with his legs, and then he just skipped the football and went on playing.
And so when did you realize that he wanted to do this as a full-time career, and what did you think?
What I think, I had said to him, you have to do your schoolwork because you cannot live for this. And if you do your schoolwork, you don't have to be the best in the class, but I know your skills, so you should do it. And he had take his school, and he also had high school, and he had even make his master degree. So I'm very proud he had education.
Yeah, I remember that about Finn. If you guys aren't aware, he does have not only a bachelor's but also a master's, and so he managed to do both at the same time. Did he find that difficult? And when you were watching him doing those at the same time, what was that like?
Actually, the last couple of years he didn't live with us together because he had another way of life. You know, gambling is in the night, but he's very scheduled. So he actually very structured in what he's doing. No? So he makes schoolwork now, and then next day he didn't play. But I know he have done very well. So if you can do both, it's incredible. No?
And so when this did become a reality for him, he was getting paid to play, he was on his first teams, and he started to get results. How did that make you feel as a father?
I didn't understand it, and actually I don't even understand it now.
And what is it like to see him playing on a stage like this here at the ECS finals in Wembley SSE Arena?
It's incredible to see the crowd and all the nice people, and I also spoke to a lot of people here, and this gaming people is far from different from what people are supposed to think about them. It's a very nice audience.
What would you say to anybody out there like Finn trying to do the same thing as him, and also any final words to parents that might not be as understanding as you have been?
For the parents, it actually could be very difficult because I always also used to climbing in the night and take television blocks out and hide the things away. But if you can find a relationship where you can do both, you have to work and have school, and then you have to have your hobby, and you have to be careful about it, but it's possible.
Would you like to say anything to your son?
Go all the way now, you have the chance. Beat them.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the ECS Season 3 Grand Finals, and we are about to kick things off here on Map 2. FaZe, James, they had an amazing Map 1, winning Mirage and starting off with a crazy high pace, but now we're on Inferno, and SK are going to be looking to make that comeback and make it 1-1.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad start for SK. There are some schools of thought where you have a crap map and you just want to get it out of the way, but then other schools of thought where you make some semblance of a comeback and at least you can get warmed up into the second map. So Both teams will be coming in warm for this one. Inferno will be the second map of this best of 3, very winnable by both teams. It's all to play for, really.
Yeah, and I'm glad you didn't ask me for a prediction. I don't want to have any predictions here.
Predictions. I just
Screw
want
the
to watch and see
predictions.
what happens.
Exactly. I want to see some sick Counter-Strike from these two teams. We're about to get started here, and it's going to be really interesting to see exactly what FaZe have to bring to the table against the likes of SK. Both very, very comfortable on this map. FaZe, in particular, it's a great one for them. We've seen, again, also Ali mentioned as an AWPer to watch out for, James. As I believe it was either day, someone on the desk said that previously, one of the best AWPers on this map in the world. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, many AWPers to be had, but it's the knives which are coming out at the moment, and SK, they've won the knife round, so we'll see where they choose to start. It is up to them to decide what they want to do. And in the words of Carrigan, it is cuddle time. FaZe getting their huddle game on. SK looking pretty chill.
I'm waiting to see the cuddles, James. Where are the cuddles at?
Oh, they are positioning the jib to
There we go.
show you all the cuddles. It's cuddle time. It's cool to see that Carrigan's dad is here as well. Always nice to bring the parents. So with FaZe 1 game up, perhaps he will be able to watch his son and his team take the victory here. Robban there as well. Don't often talk about Robban as part of this. He's been behind the team for quite a while now.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's so many big names that come to the team. It's hard to see that the coach ever really take the spotlight, all the hard work that goes into it. Obviously, Carrigan, when he came to the team and offered all the leadership, put all the pieces together in a cohesive way, that's when all the results will start to come for the team. And we'll start to see whether or not they're going to be able to make a finals victory here, as they're all taking their seats and readying themselves for this match against SK Gaming. It's all about to start, James. Is there anything that you're looking for in particular? Anything, what's going to hype you up in this match in particular? Any players, any positions?
Running through smokes, no scopes, especially knife kills. I want to see some nonsense, Dan. But what we're going to see is SK starting on the CT side. The countdown has begun. We're 12 seconds away from the pistol rounds. Carrigan and Nico, 2 flashes apiece and some smoke grenades. So seems FaZe have a plan with this pistol and execute in mind, but often it comes down to the headshots. So we'll see how far they get. Fallen throwing a pop flash for his teammates towards Banana, and indeed, that'll slow things down, but it won't slow the headshots.
Yeah, that's a fast one, but Fallen's in position. Quick flash, though, will force him back into a deeper spot there on the side, but he's got a flashbang of his own to slow them down here, and it is all about the delay. He's got 2 teammates by second middle at the moment. And interestingly, Kiyoshima is actually also in second middle in a very deep position. A weird battle going on there, but the main battle is here on screen. Fallen on the bomb site. Money more, nor is Cold. Both eliminated immediately there by the push. And once again, we'll start to see this weird battle here as Kiyoshima is still playing at the bottom of second mid, and Phelps is sort of chasing him. I have no idea what's going on over here.
This is a next level troll. This is not going to solve the problem of the round being probably lost here for SK. 1 versus 5 for Taco. And you can see he's still got perfect armor, and now he has an imperfect face because he's been the recipient of a headshot and was going to wonder if he would run away and try and save it, but there we go. Life sucks in that pistol round for SK. FaZe off to a good start on their T side.
Yeah, absolutely, and all started here, that very fast pop, and also just having the flash, I think the first flash to force Fallen onto the